The following is a Learfield presentation of the UConn Sports Network.
The Huskies are six-time national champions, and it's time to celebrate UConn hoops at center court again. Made for March? Yes, indeed.
On the UConn Sports Network, presented by Brown, Painderis, and Scott, UConn Huskies men's basketball is on the air.
All the way to the basket, he laid it in, coast to coast.
Our coverage begins with the Hart Auto Group countdown to tip-off. Today's show is presented by Hart Auto Group. Shop Hart Auto Group. We treat you like family and are only a heartbeat away. HartCars.com. Pre-game coverage is sponsored by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Today's show is also sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss. Brown, Painderis, and Scott. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Cloder Farms in Ellington. Best sheds at the best prices. American-made custom furniture. We're worth the ride. Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at oahct.com. And by Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm.
Now goes into the alley-oop mode again, and slaps it Johnson. Rip City.
Coming up, we'll break down today's opponent, check scores from across the country, and go one-on-one with UConn head coach Dan Hurley. The countdown to tip-off begins as we head to our broadcast location. Here's Bob Joyce.
Filling in for Mike Crispino tonight, we're at the XL Center for UConn and Moyne men's college basketball. Huskies 2-0 on the season. The Dolphins out of the Syracuse area are 1-2. And Mayor Dan Hurley not particularly happy, despite a 57-point second half on Saturday night, about the way his team's playing, but he likes to keep that level of intensity up, and he's still working on that with his crew.
Bob, I may have been 1,000 miles away in Alabama doing football, but I was well aware of how unhappy Coach Hurley was, especially with his team's first half performance. Now, New Hampshire only scored 24 points in that first half and shot 31%, but UConn only shot 37% and had a 35-24 halftime lead. But the coach didn't like what he saw on both ends of the court, didn't like the offensive execution, and honestly didn't like the defensive execution either. Now, they got it together in the second half, but you can't have slow starts like that against some of the better teams on the schedule. He wants that kind of intensity from the first minute of this game against Moyne tonight.
Right, they've got 2 games to get going before they meet Memphis in the Maui Invitational coming up in the final week of November. Later, it'll be me, myself, and Dan Hurley. But up next, we have Paul Roper back in the studio, and then John Fanta in the full court press. We tip at 7:01, Huskies and Dolphins from Hartford. This is UConn basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Painderis, and Scott.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis campus how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Husky men's basketball returns in 60 seconds. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Out of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
The countdown to tip-off continues with a check of scores from around the Big East and college basketball. Let's go inside the Learfield Network studios.
First meeting between UConn and Lemoyne coming up from the XL Center. Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios with an update of scores from the Big East. One game in progress, an interborough battle between number 22 St. John's and Wagner. It's the first time the Red Storm are ranked in a game in 7 seasons. It's a 3-2 lead for the Johnnies early in the first half. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Seton Hall clashes with Hofstra at the Nassau Coliseum. And at 9 o'clock, 14th-ranked Creighton hosts Houston Christian. Huskies and the Dolphins coming up from the XL Center. Let's head back there. Bob is tonight's Full Court Press. All right, Paul. John Fanta's here. He's got the call in FS1. You've already seen the Huskies this season in the opener last week. What's your early thoughts on this team trying to do something that nobody's done since John Wood?
Well, first and foremost, Bob, you think about this team, and Alex Karaban looks as advertised, averaging around 18 points per game and 6 rebounds, 6 assists per game. He's just such a steady leader beyond his years, and it's almost like they cloned him with Liam McNeely. McNeely plays the game very similarly to Karaban, and they're peas in a pod and shoot around. They're dapping each other up, talking with each other. Karaban's being that teacher. I just think that UConn has mastered what goes into an elite wing, among other things, guard play and big men play. I think right now for this team, number one is just getting Aiden Mahaney comfortable. I think that's something Dan Hurley talked with Aiden about. Doesn't have to do it all, but this is a different challenge at UConn than it is at St. Mary's, and that comes with a process. Remember, it took Tristan Newton a little bit of time to learn that process too. As for the centers, the key is simple. Samson Johnson, you have it in you to be great, but you got to stay on the floor to do that.
Absolutely, and that didn't last long on Saturday. All right, 8 teams have clean slates early, but DePaul's got to be the big story early. They've already matched their win total of last year.
Yes, and back-to-back 30-plus point wins for DePaul for the first time since 1999. Yeah, Chris Holtman takes over. It was the right hire, and they've gotten good point guard play from Connor Enright. Isaiah Rivera, the UIC transfer's given them some good production as well. They're better. It's hard to be any worse, but they're definitely heading in a better direction. I think when you look at the league right now, there's 5 teams that I would say I trust in terms of NCAA tournament contention. Connecticut, Creighton, they're going to be steady. I think Marquette's earned that trust. Shaka Smart's taken them to the Big Dance 3 straight years. Rick Pitino's got more talent. He's got a luxury of riches there. We get a better gauge for it Sunday when they face New Mexico, then head to the Bahamas, and then Xavier. Sean Miller will bounce back. What happens in the back half of this league? Butler, Villanova, Seton Hall have all taken rough losses thus far. Got to be able to switch that up. And Kyle Neptune, it's getting late early now. The fact is the pressure is on Coach Neptune right now because they're 2-2. But I think that this league's in a fine place, and the teams that we thought would be at the top have looked for the most part like they're going to be there.
Who does your hair?
Well, my wife is the one who buys, she's the one who I buy, but she makes sure all the products are in the right places at the right time. So anything that, fashion-wise or look-wise, it has zero to do with me and everything to do with my wife.
Same here. Have a good broadcast.
Thanks, Bob.
John Fanta, FS1, he has the call tonight. Wayne Norman's next with Nate Champion in the Scouting Report, the Lemoyne coach. This is UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott on Learfield.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audiovisual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
From the Berkshires to the Long Island Sound, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
It's time to take a closer look at today's opponent in the Scouting Report. Here's Wayne Norman.
Nate Champion in his 6th year coaching at Moyne. Nate, this is the 2nd year you've been a Division I program. How big a deal is it for your program to be in the home of the national champions tonight?
I think it's a great opportunity. Obviously, being on this stage, playing against back-to-back national champion. It's not very often you can say that, but it's a great opportunity for our program to show what we can do and what we're building, and I think it's a great opportunity to see where we're at.
And your team had a decent year in its first year in Division I, but you've lost your top 2 scorers, your top 2 rebounders, your top 2 assist man. How did you reload?
I think in this day and age, you always have to think about that, but we just try to do the best we can to locate guys that fit what we do and how they can be successful in our program. And I think we've done a good job of that, by using the portal and also recruiting the right freshmen. It's a great opportunity to see, though, how good we did.
Now, you opened the season at Syracuse, losing by 4. You gave them a game. You're 1-2, but how did you stay with Syracuse at the Dome?
I think just trying to withstand, runs that they put on and trying to stay in the moment. We told our guys not to get too ahead of themselves or not to get too down if they go on a run. And that's the same message we have tonight. We just got to stay in the moment, keep executing the way that we know we can, and take what they can give us.
Your top scorers so far in the 3 games have been Willamika, the 6-foot grad guard, averaging 14 points a game. He averaged 1.4 points a game last year. How has he made that next step?
Well, he played behind the American East Player of the Year, so not a lot of minutes behind him. So, Will's also been battling through injuries through his career, but him being a Syracuse kid, I think, the ability to get him back home and he's healthy, he's starting to show what he can really do.
Do we expect to see your team shoot a lot of threes tonight?
I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I think UConn does a good job of pushing up and trying to take those away. So if we can do a good job of setting screens and figuring out ways to get open, we can get some opportunities. If not, then we'll have to figure out other ways to reduce points.
What are your thoughts on this UConn team maybe playing tonight, and where do you think you might give them some issues?
They're extremely talented. Their size and the way they defend is overwhelming at times. But I think if we can be strong with the ball and we can, like I said, be physical with our screens and try to get them to chase us around, and hopefully spread them out a little bit. We'll open up the floor and hopefully we can get some points that way.
Nate, good to see you. Good luck to Lemoyne this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's the 2nd youngest coach in Division I men's college basketball. Nate Champion, his 6th year coaching at Lemoyne. Up next, head coach of the Huskies, Dan Hurley, talks to Bob Joyce. From Brown, Banderas, and Scott, this is UConn basketball from Learfield.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Heard from Danbury to Norwich, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son Ricky took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
It's time to check in with UConn head coach Dan Hurley. With the coach, here's Bob Joyce.
So 2 games in, what do you feel is better at this point, your offense or your defense?
We actually had pretty decent numbers. It's but the amount of mistakes that we're making to get to these to get to the point where we're at, field goal percentage wise and assist wise and defensive field goal percentage wise and block shots and different things. It kind of looks good on paper, but you see the mistakes and things that we're kind of getting away with. In these games that we won't continue to keep getting away with. So I'm not really that thrilled about much of anything.
Okay. Hassan gave you some good minutes on Saturday night. There was a stretch. He did a really good job defensively on Sammy Pieces. Got a steal, got a block, and a nice drive to the hoop. Is he still trying to figure out his role of this year's group?
Yeah, I still think it's in flux. I don't know. The group that's starting will be the same group that's starting next week or 10 days from now. I'm not sure what is the best way for this team to start a game and to rotate in off the bench. But I liked what he did in the second half of the game. He really changed with his energy, his defense, got us some easy shots. Played like a guy that's been on championship teats.
Aiden has a big adjustment coming from St. Mary's. Can you make any comparisons to what Tristan had to do when he came from East Carolina?
Yeah, I think, or at least you hope. Then we look back and say that that's what that's a similar process. Listen, we're asking him to play more on the ball than he's ever had to play. For us to be successful, though, him and Hassan are too small to play together. So. We need him to get more comfortable handling the basketball and being more of an on-ball guard. We're going to keep working with him.
All right, this Lemoyne team, they can fill it up.
Yeah, they can really shoot, and they run really good offense. Some of it we're going to steal. Some of the sets that they run, and it's fun to watch, but not fun to play against because the 3-point line is a great equalizer.
A lot like you, much the stuff they run, are they similar to what you guys run?
I think so. I think in a way it helps us a little bit because it's a lot of There's certainly on-ball action, but there's a lot of off-ball. There's a lot of cutting. There's a lot of curling screens and then rescreening. There's a lot of intricacies to it. The coach is a really sharp young guy.
Yeah, he certainly is. Only 32. Finally, the challenge that Sampson has, is that more mental than anything?
I think it's mental. I think some of it's technique, but I think it's just wanting to do well so badly that he's getting in his own way, and he wants it so bad, and he's waited so long, for this opportunity as a starter, and he's got to relax and get off bodies and just put himself in a position where he could just kind of fly around.
All right. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Bob.
Dan Hurley, head coach of the Huskies. Lineups opening tap next. It's UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Heard from Bridgeport to Willimantic. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision the whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Home of the 6-time national champions. This is UConn Huskies men's basketball.
Caravan launches a three. Bang! He attacks inside. He lays it up and in. Oh, what a move by the big fella.
Play-by-play coverage of today's game is presented all season long by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Today's game is also sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss. Brown, Penderas, and Scott. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company. Beyond the expected. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Fly Airport Parking. We've got lots to offer. Lippincott Van Lines. The definition of moving excellence. Cloder Farms in Ellington. Best sheds at the best prices. American-made custom furniture. We're worth the ride. Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at OAHCT.com. SeatGeek. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Huskies fans can fan. Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm. UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics. Make their doctors your doctors. And by WFSB. Trust Connecticut's largest, most experienced team of meteorologists. The First Alert Weather Team. Only on Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And a kick back to Caravan for three. He hit it! And the buzzer! What a feed, what a shot, and it goes down.
We're minutes away from tip-off. Let's go to our broadcast location. Here's Bob Joyce.
Lineups for the first all-time meeting between UConn and Lemoyne. For the Dolphins, 1-2 out of the NEC. It'll be Derek Jones Jr. and Zach Tekken, along with Will Amika, the starting trio at the guard spot. Tekken averaging 13 points per game. Amika, who didn't play the last game for Lemoyne, averaging 14 points per game. Up front, it is Dwayne Karoma, averaging 11 points, 5 rebounds per game. And Freds Pauls Bagatskis, young man out of Latvia, 10 points, 5 rebounds per game. For UConn, solo ball, Aiden Mahaney in the backcourt, ball averaging 15, 3.5, and 3.5 in that department. Mahaney just scored his first points as a Husky on Saturday. Alex Caravan off to a hot start, 18.5 points per game, already has 11 blocks. Up front with Liam McNeely, who's averaging a double-double, 14 and 10.5 boards. And Samson Johnson, 5.5 points, 2 rebounds per game. Wayne's Keys coming up after 10 seconds for station ID and these messages from Brown, Penderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand.
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis campus how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time, every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball is presented all season long by KeyBank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball.
It's Lemoyne's second year as a Division I program. They transitioned last year and were 15-17. They lost the top 2 scorers, rebounders, and assist men from that team, but they restocked at the transfer portal. Like last year, they take lots of threes, and they get to the line a lot. They're 33% from 3 this year. The top scorer and rebounder is 6-foot guard Will Amika, who played 3 years at Albany. The top returning scorer is 6'5" forward Derek Jones. Keys for UConn tonight. Number 1, tighten up the overall defense, which tonight will include three-point defense. Lemoyne will run and shoot threes in transition. Key number 2, keep rebounding well. Huskies are plus 19 in the glass in the first 2 games. One focus, though, will be limiting Lemoyne's offensive rebounds. Don't allow second shots. Key number 3, keep the bigs out of foul trouble. Samson Johnson, Terrace Reed Jr. have been in early foul trouble. Too much in the first 2 games. Johnson's played just 27 minutes with 9 fouls. And key number 4, get off to a good start, unlike Saturday against UNH. Coach Hurley is expecting, quote, significant growth, unquote, tonight. Our keys of the game are sponsored by the Sullivan Automotive Group, where Liam McNeely shops. Drive like a champion with Sullivan Automotive.
Bueno, thanks. Your officials tonight are James Breeding, Evan Burrows and Tim Smith. Lemoyne, just in their second year of Division I men's basketball, play in the NEC. Simple uniforms, green, trimmed in white. Think of the Celtics. Simple uniforms. And then the Lemoyne is in script lettering on the fronts. No names on the back of the jerseys. Meanwhile, UConn in the home whites, trimmed in the national flag, blue and red. Big blue stripe down the sides of the shorts that say Huskies. Numbers and letters in national flag blue. Late arriving crowd. I guess traffic was a mess. Wayno could concur with that because, I worked in Hartford all day, so it was an easy ride over from 10 Columbus Boulevard over here to the XL Center. I know the back way, so that's easy. You were coming in from Willimantic, so 84 West was a little...
No, it was fine until about exit 54, 55 on 84 West, and after that, it slowed to a crawl. But it always does, but it would seem worse tonight.
Shout out to Mike. Mike is unavailable tonight, but he will be back with you Tuesday when the men are back in stores playing East Texas A&M. And then, of course, he'll accompany the Huskies, Wayno and John Ashmead, to the Maui Invitational coming up the last weekend in November.
I have my sunblock.
Do you really? You're gonna hang?
Not with me tonight.
You're gonna do prep by the pool
or the beach?
Or the beach? Okay. It'll be Samson Johnson jumping center for the Huskies. Meanwhile, it'll be Dwayne Karoma, young man out of Berlin, Germany, who's played in Iowa among his stops. Just waiting for the folks at FS1 to give us the go sign. Huskies will go from broadcast left to right here in the first half. Wayne mentioned Nate Champion, already been coaching a long time here. 2014 grad of Lemoyne. Scored 1,258 points during his career. He's 32. He's younger than my son.
He's got 9 new players on the team that went 15 and 17 last year.
All right, tap is won by Johnson. And the Huskies get it first. And Lemoyne will start out man-to-man as Mahaney gives to Karaban on the right. Ball up top, left sideline to McNeely. Bounce past Mahaney at the left hash mark. He goes right off a Johnson screen. Foul line, leaner, front rim short. Gets his own rebound and fouls it in. And the Huskies strike first. Second chance hoop for Aiden Mahaney, who scored his first points on Saturday in the win over New Hampshire. Here are the Dolphins, who love to shoot the three. Zach Tekin runs the point. Here's Derek Jones Jr., guarded by Karaban. Gives it to Tekin. Out by midcourts. Now works it on the right to Willamika. Here's a drive. Tekin throws it out, tipped away, and stolen by Ball, but he can't control it all the way. And Bagatskis grabs it, and then we have a foul on the Huskies. And it will be Solo Ball that commits the game's first foul. Ball coming off career highs in assists with 4 and steals with 2 on Saturday night.
He nearly had that steal, and then went to spin to bring it up court, and somebody batted it away from behind. Does not count as a turnover.
Right, that would be Amika who kept the ball alive. Here's Karoma. Gets it off to Jones. Derek Jones Jr. spots up for 3 over Karaban. It's short. First of the many we'll probably see tonight. And Samson Johnson with the first rebound of the game on the defensive end for the Huskies. 2-0 just underway here in Hartford. Here's Mahaney on the right to McNeely. Free for 3. No good off the back rim. Rebound spiked to the floor. Karaban touched it last. And it will be Dolphins basketball. Dolphins average 88 points per game. They give up 85. And as Wayne mentioned in the pregame with Coach Champion, they took Syracuse to the finish line and fell just short, 86-82. Here's Jones, gets it up top for a driving Amika. Puts it up from the left, no good, but there's the follow the cleanup. Karoma with the dunk on the weak side, and that ties the game at 2.
That's what I was talking about. UConn plays good initial defense. Can't give up those second chance shots.
Here's Mahaney on the right to Solo Ball. 18-20 to go in the first half. Here's Mahaney on the left from McNeely. Cross-court pass Karaban. Alex is going to drive to the foul line. Wraparound pass inside reverse. Johnson for the layup left to right. Samson Johnson with good patience off the Karaban feed. And the Huskies lead 4-2, 2 minutes in. Here's Amika. Played his ball at Albany before coming to Lemoyne. Bounce pass Karoma. at the left elbow. Now off the knee of Amika in the corner. Here's a three from the left. Corona, and he hits.
Samson Johnson late to cover in that left corner.
First three of the season for Dwayne Coroma, and it's 5-4 Lemoyne. Here's Mahaney. Goes right off the screen. Pops a three from the wing. Rattles in and out. Rebound grabbed by Dwayne Coroma of the Dolphins. As into the front court comes Bagatskis. As they work the ball on the perimeter. Will shake and bike back Tekin. He drives inside. Scoop layup around and in. Got by Mahaney. And then Tekin, transferred from Siena, who had 6 assists in their last game, makes it 7-4 in favor of the Dolphins. Solo ball into the front court. Guarded by Amika. Snaps it off to Mahaney at the left hash mark. Goes right off a Karaman screen. Gives it on the pick and roll to Alex. He drives and scores from the left. Old-fashioned screen and roll. Alex's first hoop, 7-6.
Nobody picked up Karaban cutting down the left side of the lane.
After a 0-for-2 start, Lemoyne's made their last 3 field goals. Here's Amika with a bounce pass to Coroma. Coroma, right-hand dribble on the right wing, drops it off. Here's a 3-ball from the right, no good by Amika, and the ball's going to go out of bounds by the UConn bench as our game's first substitution is A.J. Dantzler, 6'2 sophomore from Indianapolis.
Amika missed that open look. He'd gone 5 for 6 this season before that miss.
3 games in. 7-6. Lemoyne, the lead. UConn the ball. Here's Ball off a screen from Johnson. Works right. Now gives to Sampson on the bounce pass. Right back to Ball. Solo gives to Karaban. Right side 3. Back rim no good. Long rebound. Grabbed by Bagatskis. And here comes Lemoyne up 1 with the basketball. Amika with the stop and go dribble. Sideline right. Right in front of Luke Murray. Johnson hedges out. Now a cross-court pass to Dantzler. Dantzler between the circles. Gives it off to Coroma. Now on the left to Jones. Jones gives it on the give and go to Coroma. Now another bounce pass inside. We're going to have a foul and a reach in, and it might be Solo Ball, and if it is, that's 2 on Solo Ball. And it is. And that'll get us to our first timeout of the ball game. Our opening tap was sponsored by Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm. We're early in Hartford. 15:52 to go in the first half. 7-6 Lemoyne leads the Huskies. As you're listening to UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The Huskies live here. You're listening to play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball. Presented by Key Bank.
Bob Joyce, Wayne Norman here. Paul Roper back in the studio. Our game sponsor today is Delta Dental. Friday night, the women are in action. Their first road test of the year and their first game against a ranked opponent. 15th-ranked North Carolina will be the opponent in Greensboro. It's good news for me, for obvious reasons. 5:30, Deb Fisk and myself on the pregame right here on the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com. Wayno, Huskies 3 of 7, Dolphins 3 of 6. They've hit the only 3 of the game so far, and from a very unexpected source. as well, and Dwayne Caroma.
The well-traveled Dwayne Caroma playing at his fourth school, Iona, recruited by Rick Pitino, Salt Lake Community College, UT Arlington, and now at Lemoyne. He'd only taken one all year. Now he's 1 for 2 from outside the arc. And that's the difference in the game, that three-pointer. Each team has 3 field goals.
All right, the foul must have been on Caravan because they both have one as a missed shot and then a spiked ball by Dantzler hits the floor. He tried to bounce it off a Husky, but to no avail. So ball still on the floor with one, Caravan with one, and UConn with the basketball. As Aiden Mahaney brings it up for the Huskies. Comes up the right side of the floor. Caravan between the circles. Looks on the left wing to McNeely. Spots up for a 3-ball. That's off the back rim. Rebound, Balls tracks it down. Gives to McNeely. He'll drive. Left-hand layup is good. Leah McNeely with a drive on a second chance hoop for the Huskies. Played a season-high 29 minutes in Game 2 Saturday. And the Huskies back up 1-8-7.
Well, we've seen that he's not just a spot-up shooter. He can put the ball on the floor and attack the rim.
Yep, and Mom appreciates him doing his job on the boards as well. Here is Caroma. Gets it off to Jones. Jones works left on Caravan. Shot may have been blocked. It's short regardless. And Caravan rebounds for the Huskies. Snaps it off the ball in the front court, up 1. 5 minutes in, we're going to get an illegal screen on UConn. And it's going to be on Samson Johnson. UConn's third foul of the first half. Here comes Hassan Diarra in, replacing Aiden Mahaney.
So for Johnson, that's now 10 fouls on the season in 32 minutes. That's a lot.
Here's Amika to the front court. Working on solo ball. Snaps it off to Dantzler. Works it down low to Caroma. Low block back out to a Dantzler for 3. It's short. As Diarra challenges shot, ball goes out of bounds. It'll be UConn basketball. So the Dolphins now 1 for 5 from 3. UConn 0 for 4. As Tekin back into the game for Amika for Lemoyne. UConn has only made one substitution, and that's Haas, who gave the Huskies some good minutes in the second half on Saturday night. Bounce pass ball on the right wing. Back up top, Diarra. Diarra wears the short sleeves, gives the Caravan right to left to the rim and lays it in with the left hand. Alex tracking down 1,000 points for his career. He's now at 922. And now a steal, McNeely along the far sideline, but couldn't quite keep it in bounds. Maybe his foot was out of bounds at the time of contact, and Lemoyne will keep possession. Is into the game now. Nate Fouts, 6'8" redshirt sophomore from New York State.
Alex Caravan now 2 for 3 as a 22-year-old. He turned 22 on Monday. 11-11. His uniform number is 11. He says that's why he picked it.
There you go. Here's Tekin driving left. Now brings it back out. Gives to Dantzler. Now it's Fouts on the right. Tekin on the right side. All this on the perimeter. Gives to Corona. Throws it up top. Here's a 3 by Fouts. It's going to be an air ball out of bounds. A lot of birthdays. Caroline Ducharme just had a birthday. AZ Fudd just had a birthday. And today is Andre Jackson's birthday.
Got some starts this year for Milwaukee at 2 points, 2 rebounds last night for the Bucks.
Terrace Reed in the game for the first time, replacing Samson Johnson. 10-7 the UConn lead. They've reeled off 6 straight. Dolphins are 0 for their last 5. Here's Diarra up top to McNeely between the circles. Starts left, now spins, goes right, now back to the left. Bounce pass Caravan to the corner for Diarra. Diarra works it towards the foul line up top. Ball for 3 straight on. That's no good. Reed the rebound, muscles way up, no. He leaves it short, but he'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And I believe they get Caroma for the foul. And Terrace Reed the third, or excuse me, Terrace Reed Jr., 8 of 11 from the line this season. Shoots 2 for the Huskies.
Been getting more playing time also because of the early foul trouble by Samson Johnson, who has 1 right now.
Reed missed the first of 2. He got in early foul trouble Saturday night. As Jaden Ross comes in for solo ball, so the Huskies start using the bench. We've played almost 6.5 minutes. Huskies up 3, pending the second free throw by Reed.
Lemoyne 0 for 4 since that timeout. They've missed their last 5 shots, and 4 of those have been 3-pointers. So the Huskies they've left some open shots, but they've not gone in for Lemoyne.
Reed 1 of 2 makes the second. So 11-7 the UConn lead. As here come the Dolphins spring into the front court. Here's Kalen Thomas in for the first time. As they work the ball on the perimeter. Dantzler on the high post to Caroma. Caroma hands it off. Here's a quick 3 by Pauls by No good by Bogotskis. Rebounded by UConn. Here's Caravan back the other way. Around one, hands it off to Diarra. That one that Halleck's probably should have shot. Tried to hand it off to Diarra. Dolphins knock it out of bounds, and it will be UConn ball.
Well, I talked about how many threes Lemoyne takes. 7 of their 11 field goals have been three-pointers. That last shot put up by Bogotskis was just a bad shot. Had a hand in his face. He wasn't squared up.
Ross to inbound. They get it into Caravan. Fakes the three on the right side. Now hands off. Ross is going to fire a triple. Miss it off the back rim. And the rebound grabbed by Bogotskis. So we stay 11-7. Tekin to the front court. Bogotskis hands it off to Tekin. Tekin goes left to right. Takes it strong against Diarra. Can't shoot it. Throws it back out on the wing to Fouts. He'll go to the foul line. Work it to the right. Tries to hand it off. He's denied. Gets it back out to Karoma. Shot clock at 10. Here's Karoma going right to left. Taking it strong over Caravan. No good. Rebounded by Reed. Good D by Caravan there in the Huskies. Here's Caravan up the right side. Hands off to Ross on the weave. Ross dribbles to the top of the key. Goes left. Lost the handle and a foul called. And a reach-in foul. It's going to be called against Tekin with 12:33 to go as the Dolphins make 2 substitutions. Jones back in and Trent Mascara back into the game, or in the game for the first time. Out of Brookline, Mass, he's a 6'4 junior. And then Amika comes in, and he's going to replace Dantzler.
Amazing jump that Jaden Ross has had. He was a little used freshman last year. Didn't get many minutes, especially in the second half of the year. But that was a good aggressive move out above the free throw line, and he drew that foul.
McNeely to inbound, 1-4 low set. They loop it to Reed on the left wing. Hands off McNeely. McNeely's going to drive down the left side, off to Ross, left corner. He goes right in the paint, up top to Caravan. Over to McNeely, fires up a three. Rattles in and out. Tech in the weak side rebound for the Dolphins, off to the races, but the Huskies get back quickly. Here is Karoma. Bobbles gets it back right on the big Madison Reed logo on the near side of the floor. Now it's Jones. Works it off to Mascara. And we have a tip. Ball goes out of bounds. Diarra gets a hand on it. Here comes Jalen Stewart into the game for UConn. He'll replace Alex Caravan.
Diarra's played really good on-the-ball defenses coming off the bench. He's forced them into second and third looks on their offensive execution because they can't get a look when they've got him going on the defense.
Here's Fouts off the inbound from Mascara. Now Mascara grabs it at the right hash mark, guarded by McNeely. Mascara almost dragged that pivot foot. Gets it off to Amika. Down low to Tekin. Puts one up against Diarra. Haas got the hand on it. Ball knocked around. Reed up with it for the Huskies. Outlets to Diarra. Haas down the middle. Left side to Ross. Ross is going to attack. Ball is stripped and stolen. Mascara the steal. Outlets to Tekin. Drives the rim. Lays it up. Missed it. He had McNeely behind him. Ross rebounds. No block. He just missed it. A little too fast. Not enough touch. Here's Reed to Stewart on the right. Goes left in the lane. Turns right. Out to Ross for three. Around. Out. Rebound spiked to the floor out of bounds. It'll be Dolphins ball when we come back. Well, the Huskies have hit the skids. Between the two teams, 13 misses in a row. UConn 0 for their last 4. Dolphins 0 for their last 9. 11-7 with 11:20 to go here in the first half. If you're looking for better banking, huddle up with Dime Bank. 14 convenient locations in Connecticut and Rhode Island. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. We're in Hartford, the Huskies and Lemoyne. This is UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott on Learfield.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Husky men's basketball returns in 60 seconds. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
(11-7), UConn leads Lemoyne. 11:20 to go in the first half. UConn basketball presented in part by Johnson Brunetti, the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Friday night ice at the Toscano Family Ice Forum. Mike Kavanaugh's crew plays host to number 2 Boston College. 7:05 face-off. Game can be seen on ESPN Plus for you hockey pucks out there. Wayno, this offensive feels a lot like what we saw Saturday between the two teams. UConn and New Hampshire, not much better here. In fact, the two teams combined 1 of 15 from 3 so far.
Yeah, UConn's 0 for 8 outside the arc. They have done a good job rebounding. 13-7 the rebounding edge, and only 1 offensive rebound on those misses. There's been a lot of them by Lemoyne so far. Of course, that resulted in their first basket of the game, as 6'8" Dwayne Koroma scored their first 5 points. He hasn't scored since. He's got the only three-pointer made. And Taurus Reed came off the bench. He's played 3 minutes already, has 3 rebounds to lead the Huskies.
It'll be Alex Caravan, Hassan Diarra, Taurus Reed Jr., Jalen Stewart, Jaden Ross, the Connecticut 5. Tekken into the front court. He's got Jones with him. He's got Fouts with him. He's got Amika with him, who has the ball. Gets it over to Fouts, baseline right against Reed. Tries to muscle his way up, gets cut off. Finds the 5th Dolphin, Mascara right corner, but it's knocked off his hand by Stewart. Out of bounds, it'll be UConn ball.
Their first turnover, a team that so far in the first 3 games of the year has averaged 15.7 turnovers a game. That's a lot.
And they forced 14 a game against the opposition. Huskies, meanwhile, only turning over 11.5 times per game so far. Here's Diarra, 11-7 as we approach 9 minutes gone. Here's Caravan off to Diarra on the right. Dribbles on the right hand. Now the left hand. Crossover. Goes left in the lane. Spins. Lost the handle. UConn's 3rd turnover. As Amika trying to come down the other way against Ross. Tough to the rim. Lays it up short. Rebounded by Reed. Off to Diarra. Here come the Huskies. Hassan Diarra right to left. Now goes down the left side of the lane to Ross. Ross dumps it back. Diarra free for 3. Left corner. Missed it. Rebound. Reed saves it, tries to get it to Ross, but it's too tall to the Lemoyne bench and out of bounds.
Huskies have missed their last 5 shots. They've all been 3-pointers. There's not much effort to try to get the ball in the paint.
So the scoring drought for UConn is 3:23. The scoring drought for Lemoyne is 7 minutes.
Lemoyne's kind of been packing that lane. They're taking the lane away from UConn, and right now that's working because UConn's missing the outside shots.
Here's Tekken, gets by Diarra, diagonal pass. Here's a 3 on the way, no good by Mascara, rebounded by Stewart. Off to Diarra. Diarra right to left, gives to Caravan in the corner. Stewart to Diarra. Hassan to the rim, puts it up and in, and the foul. Hassan with a little English on the ball, driving left off the window and in.
Well, they've taken the middle away, but that time the good quick first step on the left side. Diarra cutting it in a slant, and he gets the hoop and the harm. Amika picks up his first.
So here's Hassan Diarra to the free throw line. 3 for 4 in the early going. Ross comes out, replaced by McNeely. As the right-hander Diarra makes the free throw. The old-fashioned three-point play, and it's a UConn 14-7 lead. And Wayno, it's the first 10-0 run for the Huskies this season.
Even though they had those lopsided wins to start the season, 2 of them, they didn't have any double-digit runs. They've done this with defense.
Right. Mascara inbounds, gets it to Amika, who will drive all the way against the pressure, and he lays it in. Amika took it, got a step, and he beats Caravan. with the floater in the lane, and that ends a long drought.
So no 30-0 run in this game.
No. That's still amazing to even think about. Here's Diarra on the left wing from McNeely, right in front of the Lemoyne bench. Guarded by Tekin. Shot clock at 10. Diarra dribbles to the top of the key. Wants McNeely to set a high screen. Double screen with Reed. Shot clock at 6. Stop and go. Inside Diarra. Floats it up and in off the glass. Well, that's veteran patience there. 5 straight points for Hassan Diarra. And the Huskies lead it 16-9. Here's Tekin. Sideline left for the Dolphins. Comes around a screen. Down the middle of the lane against Diarra. Puts it up. Rebound off the miss. Put in by Karoma. Dwayne Karoma with an offensive putback. He has 7.
2 of his 3 field goals are putbacks.
The first poop of the game for the Dolphins was an offensive putback. 16-11 the score. 8:45 to go in the half. Here's Diarra. Looking left. Gives it up top to Reed. Back to Hassan. Hassan goes right off a Reed screen. And the pass deflected by Mascara out of bounds. Here comes Johnson, Ball, and Mahaney in for Diarra, Reed, and Stewart. So UConn starting 5 back on the floor with 10 on the shot clock. But Gotts gets in for Lemoyne, too. He's doing jumping jacks against McNeely. Inbound to Ball. Ball looks left, gives to Mahaney, who goes right. Mahaney drives to the rim, puts it up a little harder than it had to be a shot. Thought there might be some defense there. Nothing happening. Here's Tekin the other way. Gives it off to Mascara left corner. Trying to back down Mahaney towards the rim. Bounce pass inside Corona against Johnson. Throws it back out to Tekin on the left side. Now he spins off a screen. Inside, Corona gets free and lays it in.
Got away from Johnson, who came outside on the perimeter to defend left.
16-13. As the Dolphins hanging around here with 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Mahaney. Just right of the key, goes left off a Caravan screen, snaps it off to McNeely for 3, and UConn finally gets a triple to go. As Liam McNeely hits his 5th 3 of the year. Here come the Dolphins back the other way as Hamika drives, and Ball denies him out of bounds. And that'll get us to the under 8s. Timeout here in Hartford. Are you trying to lose weight and nothing works for the long term? Turn to the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com. Ball picked up a foul on the play, so it's his 2nd of the game. So now he does have 2. 7:48 to go first half. It's 19-13. UConn leads Lemoyne. This is UConn basketball presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott on Learfield.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Hey, Husky fans! Basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball is presented all season long by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball.
For the Wayne Norman, I'm Bob Joyce. We're at the XL Center downtown Hartford. 19-13, the Huskies lead Lemoyne. Best of luck to Paul Caddy's field hockey team. They open NCAA tournament play on Friday at noon on campus. They'll take on UMass in the first of one of the 3 potential games going on in stores. Doubleheader Friday, UConn UMass first, and then The winners will play on Sunday in the NCAA tournament, and whoever survives the weekend goes to the Final Four in field hockey.
Pretty good weekend for UConn. The women's soccer team also winning the Big East Tournament Championship.
Yep. No points off turnovers yet, Wayno, but the Huskies with 14 of their 19 points in the paint.
Just one Lemoyne turnover so far, and they had that real long scoring drought, and now they've hit their last 3 shots from the floor. And UConn finally able to hit a three-pointer as McNeely hit that. He's the team leader in scoring with 5, sharing that with Hassan Diarra.
Well, ball's second foul means Jaden Ross back on the floor for the Huskies. As Willamika will inbound for the Dolphins. Baseline to our left. Trying to get it into Bagotskis. Instead, gets in the corner left for Jones. Now it's Amika. Works the perimeter. Gives it to Mascara. Plays catch with Bagotskis. Here's Mascara out by the UConn logo. Here's Karoma. Diagonal pass to Jones. Left corner with a head fake. Now left side of the lane. Here's a 3 by Mascara. Hits. Trent Mascara, his 6-3. And the Dolphins within 3 at 19-16. They've made 4 straight shots. Here's Mahaney. Gets it off to Ross. Now Mahaney up top. Left hash to McNeely. Mahaney gets it back. Gives to Caravan. McNeely, left corner, works baseline. His pass deflected, and then Mahaney, instead of letting it go, tried to save it, and it's Lemoyne ball. 4th turnover on the Huskies. That one he should have let go. As Mascara got a hand on it first. So the Dolphins can tie with a 3. Here's Karoma. Gives to Amika. Sideline right, goes left on Ross. Stops, turns, shots rejected, but it's a walk anyways. Just the 2nd turnover on the Dolphins. That was an easy one for James Breeding. Was right in front of him. But Ross cleaned it up anyways, even if it wasn't called. So the Huskies up 3. They're 8 of 19, 1 of 10 from 3. So more 3s than 2 so far. Mahaney working on Amika, works to the left. Johnson between the circles. Left-hand dribble to Mahaney on the left wing. Goes right off a Johnson screen, takes it strong to the bucket, uses glass around out, but there's the follow, and it's Ross who follows it up and in. Jaden Ross's first bucket. And the Huskies with a 21-16 lead. Here's Bagotskis up to Karoma. Left side of the floor, guarded by Samson Johnson. Picks up his dribble. Johnson all over him. Hands off to Mascara. Mascara on the deep left wing. Now goes back between the circles. Bounce pass, Karoma's free. Head fakes Ross up in the air. Gets it out to Bagotskis for 3. Around out, rebounded by Johnson. Outlets Mahaney. Huskies got away with one there. Here's Ross. 3 for Caravan. Left corner. It's good. AK's 9th triple of the year. Now the Huskies lead at 24-16. And Lemoyne calls for time with 5:40 to go here in the first half. And it gets loud here. Dan Hurley urging the crowd to get energized here in this building.
And those are the first transition points scored in the game. Jay Ross able to find Caravan left corner in front of the Lemoyne bench. And UConn finishes off the transition 3.
Huskies, a team that is averaging 11 made threes per game, 2 of 11 at the start. Lemoyne 2 of 10, but before that Caravan hoop point, Huskies got away with one defensively down the other end.
They left Karoma wide open inside the lane, and for some reason didn't take the shot. He kind of passed it back out.
Well, he had Jaden Ross jumping at him. And instead of just having some patience, he threw it out for a 3.
Huskies have hit 5 of the last 7 shots, and one of those misses they put back up and in as Ross got the put back from Mahaney's miss. So they still control the board, 17-10. Karoma, the big weapon so far for Lemoyne. He's got 9 of their 16 points, averaged 11 points a game coming in.
And he has 1 of the 2 threes, and he had only taken 1 3 prior to the one that he made. So it'll be Dolphins ball. Huskies will pick up the pressure at midcourt as Zek Tekin, young man of Istanbul, 6'2 junior, working on Mahaney, gets a quick first step, helped out by Ross. Now it's a 3 by Mascara, no good from the right side, and McNeely Goes up high for the rebound. Out to Mahaney. Front court right come the Huskies. Leading at 24-16. Mahaney in the paint. Gets to McNeely. Now off to Ross for three. That hit the side of the backboard, and Johnson was held. Johnson went for the ball, but it's like he was held from behind. And yes, Tim Smith confirms it. Karoma fouled him.
Tim Smith working his first UConn game ever. He's one of the newer officials in college basketball.
So Karoma goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Mahaney out, Diarra in. As Fouts comes back in as well for Mascara. And Jones comes in for Amika. Here's McNeely. Left side of the floor, gives it to Samson Johnson. We have 5:10 to go in the half. Huskies lead it by 8. Here's Caravan off to Ross. Loops it down low to Johnson. Low block on the right. Trying to work his way on Fouts. Tekken comes over to help. Johnson stays with it, but his hook with the left hand is short. And the rebound grab by Bagatskis. Here comes quickly back the other way. A drive by Jones blocked. Loose ball. Diarra up with it for the Huskies. Here's Hassan down the middle. Trailer. Caravan for 3. Front rim no good. Rebound hits the floor. Ross goes after it. He touched it last, out of bounds. So the Huskies got the transition game going after Jones missed the drive to the hoop.
Caravan made the 3 in transition for UConn's last field goal. Had another opportunity almost from the same spot. Shot a little long.
Now we have a whistle in the front court. James Breeding's going to call one. And it's going to be... What did he call?
I think it's Jaden Ross.
Okay. That would make sense. 2-3, yes. First on Ross. 5th on the Huskies. Lemoyne has 4. As we're down to 4:40 to go before halftime. Terrace Reed Jr. will check in next whistle. Here is Fouts. Bumps into the leg of Ross. Bounce pass back out to A.J. Dancer. Down the right side of the lane. Johnson rejects it for the Huskies. Gets it off to Caravan. Here comes Alex. Off to McNeely. 3 from the right is good. Caravan the assist. McNeely's second triple. Now the Huskies' first double-digit lead of the game. They've ripped off 8 straight. Here's Dantzler, right to left to the top of the key. Works right, loops a pass to Fouts. Johnson gets back defensively. Fouts has the ball knocked out of his hand, gets it back, gives it to Bagatskis on the left. Works right against McNeely. Lost the handle right to Samson Johnson. Outlets to Ross. 2-on-1 with the Diarra. Alley-oop, and the dunk is missed. The ball right through Ross's hands. And Lemoyne up with it. Here's Tekken. Left to right to Dantzler. And now they work it back up. Over here for Jones. 1-on-1 with Johnson. Jones pushed Johnson. Puts it up, no good. Gets the rebound. Nope, knocked it away. And up with it is McNeely. To Diarra. To Caravan. Drives and dunks with 2 hands. And that's an emphatic transition dunk by AK.
Another 10-0 run for the Huskies. And all of a sudden, these last few minutes, their fast break has gotten UConn's offense ignited.
29-16, and the XL Center crowd up and applauding the effort of the Huskies. Here's Tekken. Runs into Johnson, commits the foul, and Dan Hurley not happy. He's headbutting the scorer's table over there. Second on Johnson, and that'll get us to the under 4 timeout. When you're out of town, want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the free Varsity Network app. It's available for both Apple and Android. Listen to college sports live with the free Varsity Network app. Wayne listens to it all the time. 29-16 Huskies, 3:03 to go in the first half. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown and Darrison Scott.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
The Huskies live here. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back in the XL Center with Wayne Norman. I'm Bob Joyce, filling in for Mike Crispino. Huskies reeling off 10 straight. 29-16 in the UConn lead. Are you experiencing life changes like divorce, death, starting or buying a business? With Brown, Paneris, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com or reach them at 860-CALL-BPS. It's 860-CALL-BPS. Rebounding, starting the transition game for the Huskies, Wayno.
6-0, the fast break points, and this 10-0 run has been ignited by the fast break. Caravan able to get a 3 in transition from Jay Ross. Liam McNeely got a fast break 3 from Alex Caravan, and then Caravan able to get a fast break dunk to finish off that run. So Caravan, a big factor in that transition 10-0 run. He had 5 points in the run, and he also had an assist on McNeely's three-pointer, as McNeely now has opened his career with back-to-back double-doubles. First UConn player to do that since Jeff Adrian in 2006.
He turned out pretty good.
Got to the Final Four in 2009.
He sure did. Here's Karoma for the Dolphins. Gets it off to Bogotskis. Now up top. Mascara back in. Tekin going left to right to the top of the key. Shot clock at 3. Mascara's going to have to shoot one up. Tries to get contact. Dumps it off, and it's a shot clock violation.
He did not know how much time was on the clock. When it's 3 seconds to go, you don't pass it out. You got to put it up from where he was on the left elbow.
Fourth Lemoyne turnover for shot clock violation of the ball game. UConn with Diarra, Caravan, McNeely, Reed, and Stewart. As we're down to 2:40 to go before the half. Paul Roper will have the KeyBank halftime report coming up momentarily. Here's Diarra to Caravan. Alex gives it to McNeely on the weave. Now Diarra works his way into the zone. Ball knocked away. Diarra gets it back. Ball fakes to the corner. He's got Caravan open, but Mascara with good D. Now Diarra to McNeely. 9 to shoot. High post to Stewart. Over here. Caravan open 3. No good. Weak side rebound by Willamika of Lemoyne. Quickly to the front court. He goes right to left. Strong. McNeely blocks the shot, but a foul is called. And Liam McNeely going, what did I do?
Well, I thought he got the ball cleanly, but it was the body contact, the middle part of the torso as the drive went past the lane to the left side. I think that's where they got the foul first on the freshman.
Not a whole lot of contact, though. But Willamika goes to the free throw line. He is a Syracuse native. Did not play in the last game for Lemoyne against SUNY Poly. 3-4 from the line this season. First up, no good.
SUNY Poly, Division III school, which they had their way with for their first win. He averaged 1.4 points a game last year, his third year with Albany, but he played behind an all-league guard. Now he's the star of the show here and is leading scorer on the season.
Goes 1 of 2, so he's got 3. That ends the run at 10. Dolphins still haven't made a field goal in 5 minutes. They've had some droughts. They've had a 7, now over 5. 29-17, the Huskies under 2 to go in the half. Here's Hassan Diarra. Ball fakes right against the 2-3 Dolphin zone. McNeely back to Diarra on the right. Now goes left to Caravan in the lane. Stewart lobs it inside. Reed, the catch, the reverse, the miss. And he'll shoot 2. As the Huskies, with good patience, they found the soft spot in the zone. Stewart tried to get it to Reed. He found him, but Reed couldn't finish, and he'll shoot 2 as Mascara picks up the foul for Lemoyne.
Reed got away from the defense on the left side of the hoop by simply going under the hoop to the right side, and he couldn't quite get the ball to drop through, but he did draw the foul.
So Reed puts up the first one and in. Football off this week, so Wayno's got a free weekend after tonight. What the heck are you going to do all weekend? It's your first free weekend in a while.
By sunblock.
There you go.
Chase Lunt, UConn's right guard, invited to the Senior Bowl.
Yep, he accepted the invite as Reed goes 2 for 2. Football team will be at Syracuse a week from Saturday. It'll be the B crew, Bob and Ben, with Adam from the Dome, while Mike and Wayne are soaking up the sun in Hawaii. Here's Tekken going left to right. Pull up for the foul line, misses. Alex Caravan rebounds for the Huskies, his third. Alex to the front court quickly with 90 seconds to go in the half. Gives it to Diarra at 31-17. Here's Alex. Gives it to Diarra. Back to Caravan. In the foul line to Stewart. Stewart back out to Diarra. Haas a three from the left. Bullseye. Haas's first three of the season. And the Huskies up 34-17. They've doubled up the Dolphins. Here's A.J. Dancer going left to right. Runs into McNeely. Float pass out to Tekken with a minute to go in the half. Here's Dancer. Goes baseline to McNeely. Underneath the hoop. Gives it inside. Layup is good. And that would be Bogatskis, who converts his first bucket of the game. And it's 34-19, the Huskies, who are shooting 45%. The Dolphins just 29. We have a whistle, and Dan Hurley's going to take the use it or lose it timeout. 20 on the shot clock, 43.9 to go in the half.
Bogatskis, who came to Lemoyne from Georgia Tech 1 year, 2 years at UT Arlington. He was 19% from the floor in the first 3 games this year, 6 for 32, but got away from Jalen Stewart to get that layup on the right side.
So the Huskies, with the lead, have gotten the offense going lately. They have 2 runs of 10-0 plus tonight. The first one gave them the lead for the first time and led 14-7, and then reeled off 10 more after Lemoyne got it to 19-16, and right now it's a 15-3 run for the Huskies that have extended this lead here inside a minute to go in the half.
Hassan Diarra has been very good both ends of the floor. He's played some really good on-the-ball defense, but he's also got 8 points, 1 off of Alex Caravan's 9. He's 3 for 4 from the floor, and it's been a real spark to this UConn offense. And honestly, some of these minutes he's gotten in the first half, he's played 11, and because Solo Ball got 2 personal fouls with 8 minutes to go.
Well, when you have depth, you can afford that. It's been strange for me to call 10 different names on the women's side of the floor in games this year so far.
Soon to be more than that.
Yep, AZ will not play Friday. They had a media session today, but she's sooner than later for the Huskies. Maybe in the Bahamas, we'll see. Maybe next Wednesday. Here's Caravan from Diarra. Elbow floater from the right. Net barely moved, and he converts. Alex in doubles once again. 52nd time in his career. Alex, by the way, came in leading the Big East three-point percentage at 61.5 prior to tonight. But he's 1 for 4 tonight. Here's Tekken going right to left. Throws it up to Karoma. Karoma spins on Diarra. Go to the rim. Lays it up. No, he tried to reverse. Missed it. 10 seconds to go in the half. Diarra to the front court at 36-19 with 7. Diarra gets away from Tekken with 4. In the lane with 3. Tries to make something happen. Floats the Stewart in at the horn, and the basket goes. Hassan Diarra bided his time, weaved his way through defensive traffic, got down low on the right, found Stewart just inside the lane at the Big East logo, and he floats a 6-footer in at the horn, and UConn leads at 38-19 at the half. Their biggest lead of the game, Wayne.
Second assist by Hassan Diarra. Again, a big spark off the bench for the Huskies, and Caravan leads the way with 11.
8 for Diarra. Those are the 2 main weapons. The leading rebounder for the Huskies, Terrace Reed Jr. with 5 assists leader. Diarra with that last assist, he has 3. Paul Roper back in the studio with the KeyBank Halftime Report next as you're listening to UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderus, and Scott. 38-19 the Huskies here on Learfield.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audiovisual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, retirement and investment specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time, every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
$20 minutes are in the books. This is the KeyBank Halftime Report. KeyBank is the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Coming up, we'll recap the first half and check scores from across the country. Now, let's go to the Learfield Network studios.
After a sluggish start against the Dolphins, the Huskies close out the first half at a 19-3 run, and UConn has doubled up Moyne at the break. It's 38-19. For the Huskies. Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios as the KeyBank Halftime Report begins with the Big East scoreboard. In progress, an interborough battle between number 22 St. John's and Wagner. It's the first time the Red Storm are ranked in 7 seasons. Right now having a little bit of trouble with Wagner, but do enjoy a 7-point lead with 16-16 left to play in regulation in Jamaica Queens. St. John's 33 and Wagner 26. Coming up at the top of the hour, Seton Hall clashes with Hofstra across the Sound at the Nassau Coliseum. And at 9 o'clock, 14th-ranked Creighton hosts Houston Christian. Get our halftime score from Hartford. It's UConn 38, Lemoyne 19. We'll have top 25 schedule coming up after the break, presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
Hey, Husky fans! Basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
38-19, UConn with the lead at halftime against Lemoyne. Paul Roper with you as the KeyBank halftime report continues with a look at the top 25. Just one other game in progress, and it's 11th-ranked Tennessee with a 40-31 halftime lead over Montana. The rest of the action will tip off at the top of the hour. Number 5, Auburn clashes with Kent State. 8th-ranked Houston tangos with Louisiana, and number 18, Arkansas, battles Troy. A couple of UConn athletics teams participate in their respective NCAA tournaments this week. Coming up on Friday, the field hockey team, number 3 overall seed, will host the first 2 rounds of the tournament starting on Friday as they'll play host to Massachusetts. Harvard and Syracuse will battle in the other first-round game. Meanwhile, the women's soccer team will head to Rutgers to play a Saturday first-round game at 5 p.m. Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. Halftime score again from the XL Center. UConn 38, Lemoyne 19. The Mayor is back at the XL Center with halftime stats. After 10 seconds for station identification and these messages presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott, this is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis campus how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SiriusXM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 24.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness or disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Help us get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Halftime in Hartford, Connecticut leading Lemoyne 38-19 as the Huskies close out the first half on a 19-3 run, and they were led in scoring by Alex Caravan, 5 of 8 from the floor, 11 points, 3 rebounds, made 1 of 4 from three-point range, and he also has 2 assists. Leah McNeely had 8 points, 2 of 5 from three-point range. Samson Johnson had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 personal fouls in his 11 minutes. Solo Ball got 2 fouls in the first half, played just 7 minutes, did not score. Aiden Mahaney started. He had 2 points and 1 rebound. Hassan Diarra, a real spark off the bench, 11.5 minutes. He had 8 points. He had 3 assists to go with 2 turnovers. Taurus Reed had 3 points and a team-high 5 turnovers. Jaden Ross and Jalen Stewart each had 2. For Lemoyne, they were led by Dwayne Karoma, who had 9 points and 4 rebounds. That's high for the team in both categories. He also had 2 fouls. Fred Pauls-Bagatskas had 2 points. Derek Jones did not score. He was a starting guard. The man from Istanbul, Zek Tekin, had 2 points, and Will Amika had 3. And off the bench, they got 3 points from Trent Mascara. Lemoyne shot 8 of 29, 28% of the first half. They were 2 for 11 from 3 and only took 2 free throw attempts. Their team likes to go to the line. They didn't go to the line much in this first half tonight. UConn, meanwhile, shot 15 of 31, 48%. The shooting really struggled in the middle part of the half, but it picked up down the stretch, including from open looks in transition. Huskies were 4 for 16, 25% from three-point range. Nearly half their shots were threes, and they were 4 for 5 from three-point range. UConn 11 assists on 15 field goals. Moyne had 4 assists on 8 field goals. UConn out-rebounded the Dolphins 24 to 13. UConn 5 offensive rebounds, good for 7 second-chance points. Moyne got 2 offensive rebounds, both by Karoma, good for 4 second-chance points, putbacks by him. Moyne had 4 turnovers, good for 2 UConn points. Huskies had 5 turnovers, good for no Moyne points. UConn, 2 steals to go with 4 blocks, and Moyne had 3 steals, no blocks. First half featured 2 lead changes, 1 tie. Huskies led for 17 minutes and 8 seconds, and Moyne got out to a 7-4 lead. They led for 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Points in the paint, 22-12 in favor of UConn. Fast break points, 6-0 UConn. And the bench was a big factor in this first half. UConn's bench got 15 points, 9 rebounds. The Moyne bench got 3 points and no rebounds as UConn on top at halftime, 38-19. UConn men's basketball family lost Andy Zuckery from Andover, Connecticut. Was a great player at Windham High School. He was the captain of the team during their Yankee Conference Championship season of 62 and 63. He was one of the lead scientists in the development of the Patriot missile. He became an engineering professor at UConn and went on to teach down in Tennessee as well, as he played under George Greer. In his final year, George Wigton took over after the fatal heart attack by Hugh Greer, not George Greer, Hugh Greer, the UConn coach, back in 63. Huskies on top at halftime, 38-19. We're back with the second half after this. From Brown, Panderas, and Scott, you're listening to UConn basketball on Learfield.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, Certified Financial Planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Connecticut. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Connecticut and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Connecticut.
Power over back in the studio. Bob Joyce, Wayne Norman courtside here at the XL Center as we are about to start the second half of UConn and Moyne. And Moyne, certainly the latter 10 minutes of the first half much better than the first 10 minutes for the home club.
Well, I really thought it was a transition game that got things opened up, and all of a sudden things went UConn's way. They scored points in bunches. They had a pair of 10-0 runs, and they also played pretty good defense over the entire first half against this Moyne team that likes to take three-pointers, but their outside shooting wasn't there today. 2 for 11 outside the arc.
Huskies won't play again until next Tuesday at Gamble. They takes on East Texas A&M, and then it's off to Hawaii for the guys.
And that school, which used to be called until last Thursday, Texas A&M Commerce, they're leading Southern University 28-24 right now, late in the first half, in a battle of two teams that are looking for win number 1.
Moyne will get it first as we start the second half. They will go from broadcast left to right in the road green, little Dolphin logo on the outside of the right side of the shorts. Moyne in script lettering on the front. The NEC logo. Aiden Mahaney guarding. Zach Tekken as we start the second half. Here's Amika, one-on-one against Ball, who's got 2 fouls, and he just committed. Nope, he stepped on the baseline. Did Amika. So that would be turnover number 5. Now each team with 5 here to begin the second half. Just underway in half number 2 here in Hartford. Here is Aiden Mahaney. Where's number 20 for the Huskies? Quickly off the solo ball. Here's Mahaney, top of the key. Holds with the right hip, gives to Johnson, back to Mahaney on the right. Little crossover dribble, gives it to Caravan, who pops out right of the key. Now right wing to Liam McNeely. McNeely spins, gives to Mahaney on the baseline, works his way inside, strong to the rim, and lays it in. Underhanded with the right hand, and Aiden Mahaney's second hoop gets things going here in the second half.
Great ball fake on the perimeter, going right by the point guard, Zach Tekken.
Here is Amika against solo ball. Ball wears number 1 for the Huskies. Amika strives right, puts one up in traffic, around and in. Amika's second hoop, he's got 5. 40-21, the UConn lead. Here's Mahaney. We start the second half, and Ball gets shoved into the UConn bench by Amika. Huskies come over to help out Ball, but Dan Hurley's the one who helped him up. Player's going to be careful on the sidelines there as Tekken comes out. Tekken looks like he's a little ginger going to the bench as A.J. Dantzler subs in for him for the
He's their point
Dolphins.
guard.
Yep. Here's Ball into McNeely. Back to Ball. Ball goes left corner. Here's a Mahaney 3 around out. Rebound spiked to the floor, and they're going to get a foul on Caravan from behind. That's Alex's second, first team foul.
Tekken working on his right ankle, or maybe lower calf.
So it will be Lemoyne ball as Amika into the front court left. Slings it right. Look out. Mahaney the steal right in front of us, and he stepped on the sideline. And then he throws it off the backboard in disgust. Literally right in front of me. I didn't get a good look on the sideline here, but Evan Burrows did.
6 turnovers by the Huskies. Each team has 1 here in the second half.
Well, I'd almost call that a second one on Lemoyne, right? Because it's a steal. So it'll be 2-1.
You got me on that one.
Hey, don't do it all the time. You're usually right on. Here's a stop and go. Dantzler works it down low. Ball knocked away. Corona gets it back. Banks it in from the left. And Corona's in doubles for the 3rd time this season. He's got 11. Back-to-back hoops for the Dolphins. 40-23. Here's Mahaney. Works it on the right for the Huskies. Left-hand dribble. He wears that sleeve on the left hand. Gives it to McNeely. Alley-oop lob. Johnson didn't read it. Still grabs it. Puts it up and in off the window. After a bit of a scramble for the loose ball on the floor, Johnson scooped it up and laid it in.
That was a turnover waiting to happen. Ended up with 2 points.
Amika back the other way. Johnson pings it on the backboard. Ball saves it, but it goes parallel with the baseline out of bounds, and it will stay Dolphin ball.
Samson Johnson getting block number 3 for the Huskies.
Ball was there too, but they give the block to Johnson. But either way, that was off the backboard. And then Lemoyne just throws the ball away because Corona never moved. Here comes Tekken back in. He's okay. Amika comes out. So the Dolphins with a turnover on the inbound. Solo ball. The Huskies going from right to left in the second half. Finds Mahaney on the left wing. Tekken guarding him. Comes around a Caravan screen. Mahaney keeps the dribble. Finds Ball on the right side. Ball starts baseline. Now stops. Now gives to Mahaney left of the key. Bounce pass to Sampson. Johnson right of the key. Gives to McNeely. Long three. Bullseye. Liam McNeely with 3 threes. And he's in doubles with 11. And the UConn lead grows to 45-23. Their biggest of the ball game. With 17:15 to go. Here's Dantzler on the right. Lob it to Jones. Caravan gets a hand on it. Dantzler gets it back. Now cross court to Tekken. Zips it in. Corona free. Blocked by Caravan. And then the ball loose off a leg, and it went off of McNeely's knee and out of bounds.
So Lemoyne is 2 for 4 shooting in the second half. The 2 misses are both blocks. Johnson and now Caravan. Huskies are averaging 11.5 blocks a game in the first 2 of the year.
Boy, that sounds like the old days. Well, they blocked a lot last year, too. They had that big guy in the middle, as I recall, Ward number 32. He was pretty good at that.
Started for Portland last night, Donovan Klingon.
Long three, Dantzler rattles in and out and in. A.J. Dantzler from the left wing makes his first 3 of the year. And up that exchange, 45-26. Here's the Huskies moving the ball. Ball starting right. Doesn't use a Caravan screen to Johnson. Back to Ball. Ball slings it right of the key. Caravan for 3, and he knocks it down. AK's second 3 of the game. He's got 14. That leads the Huskies, and the UConn lead is 48-26. Ball's second assist of the ball game. Second to Dantzler on the right. Bounce pass inside. Karoma for any dunks. And he hangs onto the rim for effect. And the Dolphins are going to call a timeout. And we'll take one as well, so we'll get 2 fairly quick. As the Huskies open up a 48-28 lead at 16-12 to go here in the second half. Women's hockey home this weekend. They have a home-and-home with Merrimack. The home game is Saturday at 3 at the Scano Family Ice Forum. Tickets available at UConnTickets.com and can be seen on UConn+. 48-28 the Huskies. 16-11 to go here in the second half as you're listening to UConn men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott on Learfield.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn athletics.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The Huskies live here. You're listening to play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball, presented by KeyBank.
Bob and Wade back here in Hartford, 48-28 the Huskies. We played 3:49 of half number 2. UConn basketball, sponsored in part by Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. From sports injuries to leaf-raking injuries and everything in between, make your move at OAHCT.com. Well, the poor shooting to start the game, Moyne, a thing of the past. Huskies 4 of 5, Lemoyne 4 of 6 to begin the second 20.
And the three-pointers dropping too. Huskies 2 for 3 outside the arc in the second half. Lemoyne 1 for 1, but they're still now 3 for 12 from three-point range. At halftime, they honored a group of guys that were with D. Rowe over the course of time, the former UConn basketball head coach. And among the guys at center court, Jim Abramatis, Jeff Carr, Randy Levine, Rodney Bass, Denny Long, downtown Denny Long, Doug Melody, Jim Sullivan, and the like. Bringing back the old days. Doug Melody probably dribbled the ball 38 of the 40 minutes in that last game of D's first year when they beat Rhode Island in the slowdown game.
Huskies moving the ball on the perimeter. Mahaney to ball, left side. Now drops it off to McNeely, left corner. Up top to Mahaney. 14 to shoot. Mahaney drives left to the rim, blocked by Tekin. And grabbed by Mascara. Here's Mascara to the front court right. Backs it up, gives it off to Bagatskis. Tries to work it down low. Johnson gets a tip on it. McNeely the steal. Here's McNeely being aggressive. The blow by the contact misses. And he'll shoot two as ball followed with a dunk. And he'll have free throws when we come back. Our game sponsor tonight, Delta Dental for UConn and Lemoyne. 48-28, 15:38 to go. Free throws for the Huskies when we come back on the UConn Sports Network. UConn basketball presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott here on Learfield.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
From the Berkshires to the Long Island Sound, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
.48-28 free throws forthcoming for the Huskies. Our next broadcast for men's basketball will be Tuesday night, Gamble Pavilion. Mike and Wayne will have UConn and East Texas A&M. 6:30 for the pregame, 7:05 from Gamble on the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the varsitynetwork.com. And supposedly Debbie's listening on the app tonight to us. My broadcast partner for women's basketball.
East Texas A&M now with a 30-25 lead over Southern University. 4:42 left in the first half. School had just changed its name last week. Well, Coach Stan Hurley's job is to get in his players, get them to play better. Well, in the second half, UConn's been out-rebounded 4-0, and now Lemoyne is only down 24-17 in the rebounding battles. Now Lemoyne's job is how to cool off the UConn offense, which is at 4 of its first 6 shots in the second half.
So here's McNeely to the free throw line. Swishes the first of 2. Came in 8 of 12 in the early season. Bobby Mullen, the SID, releasing that the Huskies have gotten all 4 commitments from their class of 2025, including a couple of foreign players from Germany and Australia. I'm sure that'll be a topic on the coaches show next time we have one. Could be next week. Still waiting on to confirm that. Free throws made, 50-28. Huskies advantage. Here's Tekin. Guarded by Hassan Diarra, who's checked in for the Huskies for Mahaney. Here is a drive underneath. Dancer works against Caravan, and Caravan forces him into a travel. The 8th turnover on Lemoyne, the 4th already this half, and they only had 4 in the first half.
Funny, the point guard, Zach Tekin, went to the bench. We mentioned some sort of a lower calf injury. He was over there stretching it out, came right back in, got a blocked shot. He does look like he's limping a little bit.
Yeah,
though.
He's got that left leg taped up. His ball fires a 3 and knocks it down from the left wing. Solo's 5th of the year. As the Husky lead grows to 53-28. Give the assist to Hassan Diarra, who's got 4 to lead the Huskies in that department tonight. Tekin, To Mascara, back to Tekken. Right to left down the lane. Trying to get it to Karoma. Pass picked off by Solo Ball. Here's Ball all the way for the dunk with the right hand. Solo would not be denied. He's got 5. And it's another 7-0 run for the Huskies. Tekken for 3 for Jones. Missed it, but Caravan's going to get called on the perimeter for a 3-shot foul. James Breeding with the call. It'll be 3 free throws for the Dolphins.
James Breeding's done a lot of UConn games over the time. He technicaled Dan Hurley in the St. John's game in the Big East tournament last year and ejected Dan in 2022 in a game against Villanova.
Oh, I remember that one well.
So does Dan.
Yeah. Dan got teed up. He pumped up the crowd, and James Breeding said, "That's it, you're done." Jones out of Richmond, Virginia, played at Towson. Left-hander. Makes the first, misses the second. Caravan will go to the bench. Ross will come in for him.
He's only got 1 point. He's their top returning scorer, number 3 scorer in the year last year when they were 15 and 17.
Third season for the Dolphins. Located in Syracuse. Goes 2 for 3 from the line. Their biggest win ever was an exhibition win back in 2009 against the Orange, 82-79. That got national headlines in the preseason. That's when Boeheim was still the head man. 55-30 here. McNeely as the Dolphins extend the D. Here's Ross. He finds a seam, throws it out. Ball open, left corner for 3. Yes, it's good. Solo with a couple of triples.
He scored UConn's last 8 points.
Well, that would include 2 threes and a dunk. That's a pretty good night. 58-30. Here's Amika to Mascaro in the right corner, trying to go baseline on McNeely. Now bounce past Karoma on the right wing. Lob pass for Mascaro with the catch, and Ball is going to get called for the foul as he knocks it out of Karoma's hands, but he got a lot of arm, too. And that's 3 on Solo Ball. So 3 on Ball, 3 on Caravan. And Jalen Stewart will come into the UConn lineup, replacing Solo Ball.
Fast break not as big a factor in this game as the first 2 games of the year, but it was a big factor to get some separation in the first half. Fast break points 10-0 UConn now.
Here's Mascaro for 3, top of the key, misses off the side rim. Follow, no good, tipped around and hit on the floor. But Dolphins keep it alive, but Ross up with it for the Huskies. Up the right side, bounce past McNeely, ball was in his feet, and Amika comes up with it. Outlets to Jones up the right side. Working on Diarra. Stops, spins, forces it up. No good. Rebound loose. Out of bounds. And whose ball is it? I had Tim Smith in my way, Wayno. I think it stays Dolphin ball the way everybody's reacting.
Well, they haven't gone the other direction, so I'd have to agree with you on that.
Yes. Here comes Terrace Reed Jr. in, replacing Samson Johnson. Dan Hurley gives him a low 5, going to the bench. Pat on the back by Luke Murray. Tom Moore also giving 5. Coach Moore asked if it was an award-winning coaches show the other night. Moore was the guest after Coach Hurley with Mike. Here's Mascaro to Amika on the right. Goes left. Stumbles. Stewart goes for the steal. Now bounce past Karoma. One-on-one on Reed. Goes right to left. Inside. Lost the handle. Reed goes for the loose ball, but he was on the baseline as the Huskies were ratcheting up the defense. And again, Wayne, another long stretch for the Dolphins without a field goal. This time 3-10.
Well, it's all about the defense, and that time Reed did a good job on the high score in this game. Karoma has 13.
Bounce past Amika. Baseline right. Floater's going to be well short right in the hands of Reed. Good D by the Huskies. Here's Diarra in the front court. Rides Amika up the floor. Pass to Reed behind him off his shoulder. Run down by McNeely. Here's Liam McNeely, the freshman from Arlington, Texas. Hands off to Jalen Stewart, deep right side. Cross-court Diarra. Back to Stewart. Back to Diarra. Wide open 3 from the left is no good. Weak side rebound, though. Lost by Mascara out of bounds. It'll be UConn ball.
Lemoyne's playing a zone, and they shifted off to the right side on UConn's pass that way, and they left Diarra wide open from the left side, but he shot it too long.
Haas now 1 for 3 from long distance. UConn 8 of 22. Dolphins 3 of 13. Ross inbounds McNeely in the right corner. Looks on the perimeter. Now the right wing. Now back towards the baseline. Free to the rim, and he scores with a layup. Spinning move. That was too easy. 15 for McNeely. 60-30, the Huskies. They've outscored the Dolphins 22-11 here in the second half. Here is A.J. Dantzler. Picks up his dribble. Gives to Karoma. Karoma to Mascaro. Right to left on the perimeter. Hasara all over him. Now Mascaro dribbles. Lost the handle. Gets it back. Dumps it off of Mika. Blocked out of bounds by Ross. With 5 on the shot clock. That is UConn's 8th block of the ball game. As a first appearance for Ahmad Noel into the game for McNeely.
6-foot guard from Philly. Coach Hurley calls him the prototypical Big East guard, working his way into the rotation.
Played 5 minutes on Saturday. Dantzler inbounds. Quick three, no good by Bagatskis. Here come the Huskies the other way. It's Ross into the front court. Ross, crossover on the left, goes right to the top of the key. Now back to the left, gives it to Stewart. Stewart gets a free lane. Inside, Reed dunks it, and there's your dime of the game. Brought to you by Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Stewart to Reed for the two-hand flush. Reed's first bucket of the game. He's got 5. Now a steal by Ross. Look out, right in front of us. Amika fouls him, and that'll get us to the under 12 timeout. UConn basketball presented in part by JT Gamo, the suit store, your destination for sharp, custom-tailored suits that make a statement. Dress your best with JT Gamo. 62-30, the Connecticut lead. 11:34 to play. This is UConn basketball presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott on Learfield.
Hey, Husky fans, basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness or disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Help us get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
This is UConn men's basketball, presented by Key Bank. Now back to our broadcast location.
Huskies on a 14-2 run to blow this thing open. 62-30 with 11:34 to go in the second half. We've got coaches shows galore for you Monday. We know we have at least 2. We'll start with Coach Cav of the men's hockey show. Adam joins me live at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue for that one. Then we'll have Gino and one of his players between 7 and 8. And we may even throw a Hurley show in there, too, between 8 and 9. All right here on the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and Wayne's favorite app, thevarsitynetwork.com as well. As the Huskies, Wayno, ripping court here in the second half. 9 of 12, 4 of those from 3 were their 4 of 6 here in the second half.
Yeah, it kind of has the same way that the Saturday night game against New Hampshire with the somewhat sluggish first half, even though I don't know if you can call 38-19 at halftime tonight sluggish, but Huskies really began to open things up. They've hit 5 of the last 6 shots from the floor, and overall now they're up to 56% shooting. And after hanging around for about midway through the first half, Moyne goes through these long scoring droughts. Right now, they've missed their last 5 shots, haven't scored in the last 3 minutes.
It is Noel with Stewart, Diarra, Reed, and Ross, the Connecticut 5 out there right now. Noel runs the point, wears number 0 for the Huskies. Bounce pass to Diarra, down low to Reed, muscles way up with the left hand, misses, but he's fouled underneath as he got a mismatch on Tekken. But I don't know if the foul's on him. I think it might be on Fouts. It is Fouts. Young man out of New York. State. And Terrace Reed Jr., the St. Louis native, by way of the University of Michigan. To the free throw line to shoot two as he makes the first of two.
So you don't want to pronounce his hometown, because I don't either.
Nope.
I think it's up near Albany, though. Scanatiels.
Yes.
That's best I got.
Okay. I'd be about that good. Reed goes 1 for 2. It's volleyballed out, and Diarra runs it down at the right hash, so we stay 63-30. Here's Diarra inside of the rim. Left-hand layup is good. Body control has Hassan double figures for the first time this year, 15th in his career. And it's 65-30, and it's another 10-0 run. That's 3 10-0 runs for the Huskies tonight. Here's Tekken. Look out, coming over here. Kick save and a beauty. I think the ball's underneath the table here. Yep, it is.
Rebound, Joyce.
Nope, still under my feet here. Let's get it out. Come on. All right. Remember that drop punt that I had years and years ago?
Never forget it.
On the sideline? I don't know. I think it was Buffalo. Boy, I got hecked for that.
As you should.
I had notes in my hand.
You didn't call a fair catch.
No, I didn't. Giardino doesn't even try to catch him. Here's Bogats, gets a 3, top of the key, and 1. As Noel fouls him. Elevation by Bogatskis, drains a 3, his 5th of the season, and Noel gets him on the way down. So that's the first on Ahmad Noel in a 65-33 lead for the Huskies. As Bogatskis to the free throw line, right-handed shot, misses the and 1, and a rebound by Jalen Stewart. Gives it to Diarra, who weaves his way through traffic. Gives to Stewart on the left wing. Hesitates, gets it to Reed up top. Starts to the right, shakes his head. Gives to Ross. Ross thought of shooting a 3, now goes left in the lane. Loops a pass to Reed. Great catch and score. That pass was behind him a little bit, but still used those big, soft hands of his to grab it and bank it in. Nice move by Terrace Reed Jr. there for that 2. Here is a pair of number zeros as Dantzler goes inside from the left, and he posts up Noel and puts it in. Dantzler's second field goal. He's got 5. And it's 67-35. Here's an alley-oop dunk. Stewart to Reed. Second time those two have hooked up tonight. Reed's in double figures with 10. With that emphatic alley-oop. Huskies have made 5 straight shots. Here's Bogatskis, left to right, throws it out in the corner. Here's a 3 by Jones, no good out of the right. And Reed rebounds off to Diarra, and here come the Huskies on a run, 3-on-1. Alley-oop, great catch by Stewart. Gives inside, and Ross finishes with 2 hands. It's a dunk fest at the mall right now. And if you're wondering, the mall, well, that's what it used to be called here when there were shops here in downtown Hartford.
Jay Stewart did a tremendous job just to save that alley-oop from going out of bounds, then had the heads up to pass to Ross.
Yep, sure did. Here's Bogatskis. Right side, spots up for a long 2 around out. Ross rebounds for the Huskies, outlets to Diarra. Here comes Haas off the right side, 71-35, goes baseline right, in the corner, Noel for 3, that's off the rim, no good. Diarra tips the rebound to Reed up top. Here's Noel again, goes baseline left, but the bigger Fouts cuts him off. Now looking for Reed, bounce pass, Reed comes to get it, goes right, double team, muscles away up and in. And right now it's an unfair fight. Terrace Reed Jr. getting it done, and the Dolphins will take a timeout. As the Huskies just muscling and showboating their way to the hoop, and they've opened up a 73-35 lead with a 35-16 second half so far, Wayno.
Great shooting for UConn, 14 of 18 in the second half, up to 58%. And remember, this team was struggling offensively midway through the first half, and then the fast break got the offense on track, and the defense has held this Lemoyne squad to 32% shooting overall. They are the Dolphins. I've had people ask me, Syracuse, New York. There's no Dolphins in Syracuse, New York. Well, as early as the 2nd century, Christians associated the Dolphins with love and tenderness. A dolphin appears on the seal of the Bishop of Syracuse, just as it was on the seal of the ancient See of Syracusa. Lemoyne named its teams the Dolphins to encourage students to look to the future, because the dolphin is a sign of comfort and union and fraternal charity. The dolphin is a consistent reminder that Lemoyne is steeped in centuries-old tradition and philosophy. And that's the B-roll stuff we keep to use, Bob, when it's 73-35.
Well, I always enjoyed the TV show Flipper when that was on growing up as a kid.
Ditto.
And Flipper was a good Dolphin back in the day. Mahaney, McNeely, Caravan, Ball, Johnson all back in the starting five. With 8:45 to go, and the Huskies are going to press here. Work on that a little bit. Just token man-to-man pressure as Willamika brings it up for the Dolphins. Bounce pass to Tekin on the right, guarded by Mahaney. Here's Tekin. Gives it off to Karoma, who has not been a factor at all here in the second half. Backdoor to Tekin to the rim, lays it in. Tekin with his second hoop, both here in the second half. And that ends the brief 6-0 run. Huskies have made 7 of their last 8 field goals. Mahaney to Ball, sideline right, guarded by Amika. McNeely, top of the key, goes left, works inside of the rim, stripped out of his hands by Bogatskis. And it will be UConn ball with 15 to shoot. As Dan Hurley with hands folded, directing traffic now for the Huskies. 1-4 low set. McNeely and Caravan set screens for one another. McNeely catches, shoots a 3 left of the key, and rattles one in and out. And then Caravan goes in for the reach, and he commits another foul. And for AK, that's 4. Actually, it's Ball, not Caravan, but either way, it's 4 on solo Ball.
So McNeely with 15 points leads the team. He's 5 of 9 overall, now 3 for 7. That was an open look from near the top of the circle. He'll want that shot back.
Team fouls are 5-4 Huskies here in the second half. There's under 8 minutes to go here on a Wednesday night in Hartford. Here's Tekin. Zek Tekin from Istanbul, top of the key. Picks up his dribble, snaps it off on the left to Bogatskis. Bogatskis out of Latvia puts a shot up no good. Rebounded by Fouts on the weak side right. Back out to Tekin, and the Dolphins will reset. Little crossover on Mahaney. Takes it strong to the rim, lays it up and in. Strong move by the Turkish guard who had 6 assists in their last game. He's got 6 points tonight. 73-39 the Huskies as Hassan Diarra will check in. Next whistle, though, will get us to the media timeout. Here's McNeely, sideline right. Picks up his dribble, snaps it off to Samson Johnson up top. Now hands off the solo Ball. Ball puts on the brakes, goes right on the wing. Gives it left to Mahaney. Ball fakes. Now McNeely, 10 to shoot. McNeely on the perimeter, goes left to right. Backdoor trying for one of 2 Huskies, but it doesn't work. It's off the hands of Ball. Here comes Karoma back the other way. Bumps with Johnson. Bodies with Johnson. Tries to spin, instead throws it out, and Tekin and catches out by midcourt. Sideline left. One-on-one with Mahaney. Gets him on a crossover, but Mahaney stretches out that arm. Now Tekin takes it to the rim. Scoop blocked by Johnson. And then the rebound off the leg of Karoma, and it will be UConn ball when we come back.
I've got that as 4 blocks now for Samson Johnson, who has played the entire second half without getting a foul. He has 2.
And the 9th block of the game for the Huskies as well. UConn basketball sponsored in part by UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics. Make their doctors your doctors. 6:41 to go. 73-39 Huskies. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, retirement and investment specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Heard from Danbury to Norwich, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't
friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
(73-39), 6:42 to go. Bob Joyce, Wayne Norman here. Paul Roper back in the studio. Women's soccer, off its Big East tournament win, plays Rutgers in the opening round of the NCAA tournament Saturday night, 5 o'clock in Piscataway on the shores of the Raritan. And then the winner gets either UC Santa Barbara or Stanford. So if the Huskies win, they're going west, young man. Or in this case, young woman.
Alex Caravan, 14 points. He has 3 rebounds, 2 assists. What amazes me is his versatility. He comes into this game leading the team in scoring, 18.5, leading the team in assists, 5.5. So he can pass the ball, play the point guard, and we saw several times last year he had to play center for extended periods.
Here's Caravan, the aforementioned, gives the ball in the right corner. Back on the right wing, Caravan. Left wing, Diarra. Left corner, McNeely for 3. Front rim, no good. Rebound tipped up by Caravan, right to McNeely. Back to Diarra. Fresh 20 for the Huskies. Johnson pops out top of the key. Gives to Alex top of the key. He'll fire a 3 and knock it down. AK's third triple of the game. He's got 17. 76-39, the Huskies. They've outscored Lemoyne 38-20 here in the second half. They had 38 the entire first half. We still have 6 minutes here to go in the ball game. Here is Amika going right to left on ball, who cuts him off in the lane. Throws it out to Tekken. Up top, little give and go. Tekken gets it back from Fouts. Starts right, goes left, tries to shoot a 3, gets cut off. Now Fouts with 5 to shoot. Over here for Biscotskis, fires up a 3 over McNeely, and he banked it in. And even McNeely turned and said, really?
That's pretty good defense on the perimeter, too.
It
just
sure
let
was.
It fly.
Yep. That is the 5th made 3 for the Dolphins tonight. They averaged 9 a game. Here's Diarra. Off a screen. Caravan left of the key for 3. That's short. Rebound. Grabbed by Ball emphatically, and we get a whistle and a foul. On the floor, his ball goes way up for that one. And that's going to be on Amika. That is foul number 4 on Amika. 5th on the team, so both teams with 5 team fouls. As Ball, this is the first 2. They called that a shooting foul.
Huskies really rebounding well here in the second half. Their overall edge is 36-21. They've got 10 offensive rebounds. They're not missing much here in the second half, but when they are, like last couple of possessions, they're getting second chances.
Jaden Rawson for Alex Caravan, probably done for the night. Ball goes 1 of 2 for the line, so he's got 9. And the UConn lead grows to 77-42 here in Hartford. Here is Tekken, gets it off to Amika, sideline left, goes right, loops it, nope, diagonal pass. Biscotskis for 3, and he knocks it down for the left corner.
And doesn't use glass.
No, it's hard to do it from there. And McNeely had some pretty good D, but Biscotskis got some serious elevation there. He's 6'8". McNeely no shorty, though. He's 6'7". Here's Diarra. Right to left on the perimeter. Left wing. Ball for 3 on the way. Got it. Solo joins the double figure fest. He is the 5th Husky in doubles. He's got 12. And UConn's made 10 threes again with 4:20 left. 80-45 the Huskies. Here's Biscotskis, who's hit a couple of threes. Gives to Karoma. Hands off. Ball knocked away. Stolen. McNeely to Ball. Lays it up. No, it rattled in and out. He was indecisive to finish. Was going to dunk it. Laid it up and hit one side of the rim and the other. Now another steal started by Ball. To Johnson, to Ross, and that's finished from the right. Emphatically with the right hand.
Well, Ball missed the shot, but got the steal from behind, and then things went the other way, and Hassan Diarra gets assist number 6 on the dunk by Ross.
So I guess he could thank Ball for missing that drive to the hoop then. Here's Tekken trying to go stop and go. Gets cut off. Amika to the rim, blocked from behind, but a late foul called on the Huskies. As Amika face first on the floor. And he'll get free throws as he's helped up okay. And Solo Ball, I think, just fouled out. He did. So it'll be free throws for Amika when we come back to Hartford for the final 3:37. No one gets you closer to the game than SiriusXM College Sports Radio. Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason to the regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go. Get a free trial. SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2024. 82-45, 3:35 left. This is UConn men's basketball in Learfield, presented by Brown, Banderas, and Scott.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SiriusXM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 24.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
The UConn Huskies are on the air. You're listening to UConn men's basketball, presented by Key Bank. Now back to our broadcast location.
82-45 Huskies, 3:37 to go, and we're done. It's the Hart Auto Group postgame show. Highlights, interviews, final stats, scores with Paul coming up, courtesy of the Hart Auto Group. Shop Hart Auto Group. We treat you like family and only a heartbeat away. ShopHartCars.com. Well, Wayne, on Saturday, the Huskies shot 63.6% in the second half when they put up 57 in the 92-53 win over UNH. Tonight, 68% shooting in the second half, where they're 6 of 12 from 3, and they've put up 44 on the Moyne here in the second half.
Despite that missed layup by Solo Ball a couple minutes ago, Hassan Diarra has been outstanding in this game. Didn't start, but he's got the best plus-minus of the team. Plus 36. Liam McNeely has plus 27 for UConn. And from the Department of Geography department, we talked about Nate Fouts of Lemoyne from the hometown of, we figured it out, Skaneateles, which is close to Syracuse, 40 miles to the west. There's a lake with the same name. It's one of the Finger Lakes. If you look at the Finger Lakes, it's the map on the left with the pinky finger lake.
The right pinky or the left pinky?
I got it left.
Okay. So Mika goes 2 for 2. He goes out. A.J. Dantzler comes in. Mod Noel back in for the Huskies with Jalen Stewart, Terrace Reed, Isaiah Abraham in for the first time, and Jaden Ross for the final 3.5. 82-47 after the free throws. Noel, right to left, top of the key. Here's Abraham. Bounce pass to Reed on the baseline right. Now hands off to Stewart. He goes towards the corner. Bounce pass Reed. Knocked away by Fouts. Stewart gets it back. Here's Noel with 5 to shoot. Goes right. Hesitates. Off to Ross. 3. Left of the key. No. Rebound tipped out. Grabbed. Run down by Abraham. Wearing the headband. Wears number 4 for the Huskies. Out to Ross as we hit the 3-minute mark. Terrace Reed. Hands off to Stewart. Stewart. Bounce pass to Reed. Works, spins on the D. Throws it out. Huskies work the ball. Noel up top. Stewart over here for Ross. He'll dribble drive. Jump stop. Floated out to Noel. Shot clock winding down. Noel hits a 3. No problem. But that might be some of the best ball movement we've seen tonight from UConn.
Man, they used about 30 seconds on the game clock, too, the shot clock.
Yeah, that was a second chance hoop. So they used about 50 seconds of game time. Here's Dantzler, cross court to Fouts on the left, drives on Abraham, runs into Reed, but lays it in nonetheless. Nate Fout's first basket of the night. So off that exchange, it's 85-49. The Dolphins have made their last 3 shots. Here's Noel to Stewart, sideline right. Down to 2 minutes to go. Noel over here for Abraham. Gives to Stewart between the circles right. Now goes left off a screen. Works inside. Takes it off the window. No good. Reed rebounds. And throws it back out. Here's Abraham for 3, and that rattles in. Isaiah Abraham's second 3 of this young season. And the Huskies extend the lead. A missed 3 by Mascara the other way. Rebounded by Reed off to Noel to the front court with 90 seconds to go. Now here's Ross, left of the key, little crossover, works inside, bobbles, gets it to Noel in the left corner. 15 to shoot. Reed, not a three-point shooter. Looks for Jalen Stewart, spots up. He's going to shoot a 3. That's short. Long rebound. Stewart runs it down. Gives it to Abraham to Ross in the right corner with 15 to shoot. Here is Reed. Back to Ross. He'll pop a long 3 from the right. That's a round out. Rebound tipped up. Grabbed by Dantzler of Lemoyne. And we're down inside a minute to go. Well, we can say this now because we've got a minute left. This has been a quick game tonight by men's basketball standards. Faust fakes on the 3. Step back. Shoots a 3 from the right. Misses. Weak side rebound by Ross. As we're down to 40 seconds to go.
One reason why not many fouls called.
Nope.
A lot of outside stuff, not a lot of inside banging.
Lemoyne with 10 personal fouls. UConn with 13. Here's Reed off to Stewart. 13 to shoot, 25 to go. Ross goes baseline left to the rim, dunks with 2 hands. Ross's second dunk of the game. He's got 8, and that should do it for UConn. 90-49. So they've got 90 in all 3 games played so far.
92 in the first 2.
Yep. Here is Fouts out to Dantzler with 5 seconds to go. Dantzler goes left, spots the top of the key for a long 2. No good. Rebound out of bounds as it was last touched by the Dolphins. And with a half second to go, it's just the inbound is a formality, and the Huskies will get the win 90-49 as they once again, Wayne, put up a 50 spot in the second half. 57 Saturday, 52 tonight, and they win it 90-49.
They outscored Lemoyne in the second half 52-30, and they did that with good defense in the second half. Lemoyne winds up shooting 35% from the floor. They're a little better, actually, in the second half. Nonetheless, the big runs in the first half, and run would be the key word, because after a kind of sluggish start for the first 10 minutes, UConn suddenly got the transition game going, the fast break going, scored some quick points, and that kind of opened the game up.
17 for Caravan. He leads the way. 12 for Ball, 15 for McNeely, 12 for Reed, 10 for Diarra. Reed with a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds. That's Reed's second double-double of the season and the 5th of his UConn career. And we're going to get Hassan Diarra in just a minute.
Yeah, he was a real spark at times. He didn't start, came off the bench, but really got some good things going on for the Huskies when he came off the bench.
So they go to 3-0 on the young season. I will hand those to you, young man. I got to turn your volume up. Make sure we're not blowing your ears out. Your volume okay? We're not blowing your ears out, kiddo?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Hassan, I had the pleasure of calling the game Saturday as well, and a couple minutes in that second half where you guys started to pull away, I thought you played a big role, and you did a bigger one tonight. Are you still trying to find out what your role is on this team this year? You're still trying to figure that out?
Yeah, I mean, it's early in the season. I think everyone is trying to find out where they fit in. And I think the team just did a great job today playing to our identity. And it just started with guys like me and Alex going out there, just playing hard and playing the right way.
So the game had a bit of a sluggish start, and then all of a sudden the transition game got unleashed. Just explain about how that seemed to get the offense in flow when you began to hit those easy hoops.
Yeah, I would say, I thought we was guarding really well. We didn't make many shots at first, but because we were guarding, we were able to gain energy from our defense, and that made us able to get out in transition, get easy baskets, get open baskets, and that's when we broke the game open.
You led the team in assists tonight. You had 6 in the victory. Jaden Ross had 4, but you had a big assist last play of the first half. Very unselfish play, and gave you guys a nice cushion, a strong end of the first half.
Yeah, coaches, I seen the shot clock going down. Game clock going down. I just wanted to get a paint touch. If I was able to score, I was able to score. But, Stewie made an amazing cut. I saw him on the cut, and, he just shot a pretty floater.
UConn took 33 threes. They took 32s. Is that because that's what Lemoyne gave you? They gave you the outside looks?
Yeah. We're confident in every shot we take. We have unbelievable shooters on this team. I would say, we took the right shots today, and they will fall in the next games.
Son, you're a veteran. What have you seen from this sophomore class so far as they've taken that next step up?
Man, this sophomore class, they have taken the biggest step I've seen since I've been here. Solo, he ran off 8 straight.
Yeah.
And that gave us a big lift. Jay Ross is he's skyrocketed like a rocket ship. And Stewie is working towards those two guys' levels. It's really amazing to see, and I'm super, super proud of them.
Son, congratulations on the win. And Mike's back Tuesday. Go get him. Enjoy. I know you don't have a weekend off, per se, but from game action. I know you guys are working hard, so
yes, sir.
Enjoy the weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Maybe the women aren't even playing at home this weekend. They're in North Carolina. But the Huskies win it as they get to 90 once again, 90-49 the final. Huskies with 5 players in double figures, and we thank Hassan Diarra for joining us. Wayno, as the Huskies get another win.
Yep, and they did what they had to do. Bottom line is that, they've played 3 weak opponents to start the season. Lemoyne, a second-year Division I program. Yeah, they did hang with Syracuse. Let's keep that in mind. They lost by 4 points in the season opener at the Dome. They didn't stick with UConn like that, as the Huskies had a 19-point lead at halftime, and they eventually won it 90-49.
All right, we've got the Hard Auto Group post-game show. Wayno will have a visit with Dan Hurley. We've got highlights. We've got stats. We've got a lot to get to, so we will do that in just a moment. Final score 90-49. You're listening to UConn Basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Heard from Bridgeport to Willimantic, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The final buzzer sounded, and it's time for the Hart Auto Group postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's game with highlights, check scores from across the country, and visit with UConn players and coaches for postgame analysis. Let's go back to our broadcast location. Here's Bob Joyce.
Huskies go to 3-0 on the young season as they take care of another opponent here in the early season as they beat Lemoyne 90-49. In fact, tonight's crowd, good crowd tonight, 15,684, and this game lasted just an hour and 49 minutes, which for men's basketball is a absolute delight. Of course, didn't have a lot of fouls tonight. 13-10 was the foul total in favor of UConn, as Wayne mentioned. Not a lot of banging inside like you see in a lot of college basketball games. Well, Lemoyne got off to a good start. They averaged 9 threes per game coming in, and they weren't shy taking them early. But they got an unexpected three from someone that had not made a three all season that put the Dolphins up early. Here's Amika. Played his ball at Albany before coming to Lemoyne. Bounce pass, Karoma at the left elbow. Now off the knee of Amika in the corner. Here's a three from the left, Corona, and he hits. Karoma's three of the first of the year. That gave him a 5-4 lead. It was 7-6 at the first media timeout in favor of Lemoyne. But 7 straight points for the Huskies. That gave him an 11-7 lead. Alex Caravan strong to the basket here. Bounce pass ball on the right wing. Back up top, Diarra. Diarra wears the short sleeves. Gives the Caravan right to left to the rim and lays it in with the left hand. That made it 10-7. Hassan Diarra with some offensive spark with an and one. That made it 14-7 from the left. Then it was a move from the right here. Diarra dribbles to the top of the key. Wants McNeely to set a high screen. Double screen with Reed. Shot clock at 6. Stop and go. Inside Diarra. Floats it up and in off the glass. Well, that's veteran patience there. 5 straight points for Hassan Diarra. And the Huskies lead it 16-9. Dolphins got to within 3 at 19-16 and a Trent Mascara 3 with 7:28 left. Then the Huskies started a response of the first of 3 10-0 runs. And the transition game got going that included a Liam McNeely 3-ball. Here is Fouts, bumps into the leg of Ross. Bounce pass back out to A.J. Dancer down the right side of the lane. Johnson rejects it for the Huskies. Gets it off the Caravan. Here comes Alex. Off to McNeely. 3 from the right is good. That made it 27-16. It was part of a 19-3 run over the last 6:27 as the Huskies led 38-19. And we talked about this with Hassan Diarra finding good patience to get inside and then finding Jalen Stewart to beat the buzzer. 10 seconds to go in the half. Diarra to the front court at 36-19 with 7. Diarra gets away from Tekken with 4. In the lane with 3. Tries to make something happen. Floats to Stewart in at the horn, and the basket goes. They made it 38-19 at the break. Caravan led the way with 11. Haas had 8 points, 3 assists in the first half as UConn shot 48%. Lemoyne just 27.6. Huskies had 2 blocks early in the second half. Samson Johnson and Alex Caravan. They also had a couple of threes in the first 4 minutes. Caravan, and here, Liam McNeely. Ball starts baseline, now stops. Now gives to Mahaney, left of the key. Bounce pass to Samson Johnson, right of the key. Gives to McNeely. Long 3. Bullseye. Liam McNeely with 3 threes. And he's in doubles with 11. Huskies made 12 on the night. At 48-28, the Huskies extended the advantage to 62-30 with a 14-2 run that was capped by our dime of the game. Ross, crossover on the left, goes right to the top of the key. Now back to the left, gives it to Stewart. Stewart gets a free lane. Inside, Reed dunks it. There's your dime of the game. Brought to you by Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Stewart to Reed for the two-hand flush. And then Stewart's athleticism here leading to another dunk for the Huskies. This time, Jaden Ross. Reed rebounds off to Diarra, and here come the Huskies on a run 3-on-1. Alley-oop. Great catch by Stewart. Gives inside, and Ross finishes with 2 hands. It's a dunk fest at the mall right now. 38-19 in the first, 52-30 in the second. It equals UConn 90 and Lemoyne 49. For the Huskies, the 90, the lowest point total in 3 games. They had 92 in the first 2. We'll come back with final stats. Wayne still awaiting our interview with Dan Hurley. It's all coming up as the Hard Auto Group postgame show continues after 10 seconds for station identification and these messages. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, Certified Financial Planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
We're back in 60 seconds after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All right, individual scoring numbers in UConn's victory tonight, 90-49 over Lemoyne. They were led once again by Alex Caraban, who was 7 of 11, hit 3 threes, finished with 17. He had 3 rebounds and 2 assists. He played 28.5 minutes. He was a plus 22. 15 for Liam McNeely, who was 3 of 8 from 3, 5 of 10 on the night, also had 3 rebounds. He had a steal and a block and 2 turnovers in just under 32 minutes. 12 points, 2 rebounds for Solo Ball. He fouled out for the first time in his career. 4 of 6 was 3 of 4. From outside the arc, and he co-led with Samson Johnson in steals with 2. 10 for Hassan Diarra with a team-high 6 assists. Haas was 4 of 6 from the field. And Terrace Reed Jr. did not miss. He was 4 of 4 from the field, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. He finishes with his second double-double of the season, 12 points and a team-high 8 rebounds. Samson Johnson was 2 of 3. He had 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 blocks, along with 2 steals. 4 points for Aiden Mahaney. He was 2 of 8 with a couple of assists. 8 points for Jaden Ross, who was 4 of 9. He was 0 for 5 from 3. He had 7 boards and 4 assists off the bench for the Huskies. 5 assists for Jalen Stewart, who had 2 points and 3 rebounds. And Ahmad Noel and Isaiah Abraham each hit a 3 late to complete the scoring at 90 for UConn. 2 Dolphins in double figures. Dwayne Karoma scored, well, I think he scored all 13 of his points, if I'm not mistaken, in the first half. Maybe just 1 hoop, but he was 6 of 9 from the field, including a 3. He had 5 rebounds to lead the Dolphins. 13 points for Fred's Pauls Bagatskis, who was 4 of 10, 3 of 8 from 3. He finished with 11. 2 for Jones, who was 0 for 6, 2 of 3 from the line. 6 for Tekken, who was 3 of 8. Willamika had 7 points and 5 turnovers. Amika was 2 of 8. Off the bench, A.J. Dantzler was 2 of 5 with 5 points. 2 for Nate Fouts, who was 1 of 3, and Trent Mascara was 1 of 5, all from 3. He finished with 3 points. We'll come back with the team numbers and Dan Hurley with Wayne Norman shortly as you're listening to the Hard Auto Group postgame show. UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cds-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Husky men's basketball returns in 60 seconds. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Wind things down here at the XL Center, 90-49 the final. UConn was 15 of 31 in the first half, 20 of 32 in the second half. They shoot 35 of 63 for a season-high 55.6%. They make 12 threes. Second time this year they've hit double-figure threes. They were 12 of 33 and 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, for Lemoyne, they were 8 of 29 in the first half, 11 of 25 in the second half. They finished 19 of 54 for 35.2%, and that is a season low. No, it's not, actually. They shot 32% in one of their games earlier in the stretch here in the early part of the season. 6 of 21 from 3. That is a season low for them. Makes threes, and they were 5 of 8 from the free throw line. UConn made a season-high 35 field goals, 35 of 63. They out-rebounded Lemoyne, 42-23. Offensive rebounds, 13-7 Huskies. 23-9 in second-chance points for the Huskies in this one. They had 24 assists on 35 field goals, a season-low 7 turnovers, 7 steals, and a season-low, believe it or not, 9 blocks. Lemoyne had season lows in threes, 6, free throws made 5, rebounds 23, points 49, assists 8, turnovers 12, and steals 5. Points in the paint, 46-26 Huskies, all 17 points off turnovers. Came from UConn, all fast break points, 12-0 in favor of the Huskies, and the bench outscored Lemoyne's 38-10. Huskies led big by 41. Biggest lead for Lemoyne was 3. Biggest run, 3 times. The Huskies had 10-0 runs. We had 2 lead changes, 1 tie. Huskies led for 37-08. The Dolphins led for 2-17. We played in front of a crowd of 15,684, and we played on an hour and 45 minutes. It was 19-16 with 7:27 left. And then it was 71-33 the rest of the game. Thanks to Wayne Norman. Always a pleasure working with the mayor. He'll be next with Dan Hurley as we continue our coverage from the XL Center. Huskies win it tonight over Lemoyne. As you're listening to the Hard Auto Group postgame show on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians. and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Fight on, Connecticut. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said,
if it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Dan, did you see the improvement tonight that you were looking for?
I think we took a step forward. I really did. I think they're, a sneaky, hard team. I think they're a sneaky, hard team to guard. And, I thought we looked more like ourselves in terms of really good defense with a couple of breakdowns. We rebounded it. And I thought offensively we looked better.
But the slow start, you're only up 3 with 7.5 to go. Then what turned the game around?
Well, the bench, I think, just what Hassan brings, and obviously, we've got to look at potentially, changing that lineup. But it's just so that we could maybe get off to better starts. So we'll look at everything there, but our starts have been bad.
And you talked about Hassan, what he brings. Specifically, what did he bring to this game? Because he really helped expand that lead.
Well, he did a good job on Tekken, who's a good player and tough to guard. He kept him out of the paint, and he was able to get the ball out in transition and just help create shots. But he plays with a ton of energy and pop, and you need that in your guards.
All right, Dan, thank you. That's UConn coach Dan Hurley. Huskies win it 90-49 over Lemoyne. From Brown, Panderas, and Scott, this is UConn basketball from Learfield.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis campus how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
The exclusive home of the Huskies. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios after the Huskies improved to 3-0 following a 90-49 win over Lemoyne. Let's take a look at the final college basketball scoreboard. We'll start in the Big East as 14th-ranked Creighton is hosting Houston Christian in a rock fight in Omaha, currently 13-7 in favor of the Jays. They've been on a 10-0 run. That tells you how that game has gone. As there's only 13-7 Creighton midway through the first half in Omaha against Houston Christian. Meanwhile, not much better on Long Island between Seton Hall and Hofstra. 24-21 for the Pirates over the Pride with 49 seconds left to go until halftime from the Nassau Coliseum. One other game in the books, number 22 St. John's routs Wagner 66-45. Over the top 25, a few games in progress, starting with 5th-ranked Auburn leading Kent State 45-37. 14.5 minutes left to play on the Plains. 8th-ranked Houston crushing Louisiana 61-27 for the Cougars over the Cajuns. 17 minutes left to play in regulation. And 18th-ranked Arkansas right now locked in a battle with Troy. It's 34-32 in favor of the Hogs with the under-16 media timeout in the second half. And one final from the top 25 as 11th-ranked Tennessee defeats Montana 92-57. The Huskies' next opponent, East Texas A&M, formerly known as Texas A&M Commerce. That name change was finalized a week ago. The Lions with a 66-61 lead over Southern as the Huskies will turn around and face the Lions in their next game next week. That'll do it for our coverage of Huskies men's basketball. Stay tuned on Friday when the UConn women head to Greensboro to take on the North Carolina Tar Heels, the 14th-ranked Tar Heels, a top 15 matchup inside First Horizon Coliseum. That game will tip off at 6 o'clock. The Hart Auto Group countdown to tip-off begins at 5:30 here on the UConn Sports Network. Our next broadcast of UConn men's basketball coming your way on Tuesday against East Texas A&M. Hart Auto Group countdown to tip-off at 6:30, followed by tip-off at 7 p.m. That'll do for our coverage of UConn men's basketball. Again, the final score, UConn 90 and Lemoyne 49. Now for the Mayor, Wayne Norman, and the play-by-play announcer for today, Bob Joyce. My name is Paul Roper, signing off from the Learfield Network studios. We'll see you next time on the UConn Sports Network from Learfield. This has been This is UConn's men's basketball presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott.
You've been listening to UConn Huskies men's basketball on the UConn Sports Network, presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott. Today's game has been sponsored by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss. Brown, Penderis, and Scott. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company. Beyond the expected. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Last Fly Airport Parking. We've got lots to offer. Lippincott Van Lines. The definition of moving excellence. Cloder Farms in Ellington. Best sheds at the best prices. American-made custom furniture. We're worth the ride. Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at oahct.com. SeatGeek. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Huskies fans can fan. Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm. UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics. Make their doctors your doctors. And by WFSB, trust Connecticut's largest, most experienced team of meteorologists. The first alert weather team, only on Channel 3 Eyewitness News. The proceeding has been a Learfield presentation of the UConn Sports Network.